Cubby blue blood flowing through our veins. Sitting in the bleachers in the rain. We've shed a million tears and drank as many old-style beers out at the game. Let's go, Cubby, Son Ranto.
Michael Cotton.
Son Ranto.
Michael Cotton.
Son Ranto and the lovable Lucy.
Lucho Scali.
Son Ranto.
Michael.
Son Ranto.
Cotton.
Son Ranto and the lovable Lucy.
Michael Cotton.
Son Ranto.
Lucho Scali.
Oh no!
Hey.
You started too high. It's like when you do the national anthem, you always got to start low, like oh say, and you were like son. I'm like oh no, he's got nowhere to go.
No,
he's
I'm
totally screwed.
always trying to mix it up a little bit, you know. I've got the motorcycle always in the back pocket, but you know.
So you figured you just have a shitty one this time, just to mix it up.
I tried different stuff, you know. Well, it was Canadian. Canada's high. I had to start high.
Yeah,
I was hoping big falsetto there. Big falsetto.
You never give me one of those for variety.
You'd hear my voice cracking and getting all crazy.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Welcome to the Son Ranto Show. My name's Danny Rocket. I'm one of the hosts of the Son Ranto Show. You just heard the high-pitched squealing of Michael Cotton. And joining the Son Ranto Show for the second time in a row, it is full-fledged Canadian Kevin Ashworth, eh?
Hey,
and
how you doing, eh?
Great, eh? How's it going, hoser?
Take off, eh?
So welcome back from all those games you watched. Well, you watched 2 of the 3 games, of course. Like a true Cub fan, you were there for both of the losses. We're going to get into all that in a little bit, but thanks for coming back on, Kevin. It's always nice to hear from people who are freshly fucked from the stands. You know, you're just coming out there doing it. Feeling relaxed.
Terminology there, Danny. You don't want to say freshly fucked from the stands because people may get the wrong idea about Kevin.
Well, that is the idea. I'm really a specialist in getting people to have the wrong idea about things.
He was not freshly fucked in Canada.
But he was looking at it. But before we get started, I want to thank our 109 Patreon supporters who support the show. This show literally does not happen without you. If you weren't here, I would stop doing it. So please support us at patreon.com/sunranto. You get early and ad-free access to the show. And you are eligible to win this monthly prize because it is September 1st. So it's time to pick the Patreon patron of the month from the Wheel of Names here. Good luck to all. The prize this month, and I keep forgetting to announce it, you can see in the little window right now, is this replica scoreboard signed by Crawley. He signed this a while ago, so it made it worth less. Sorry about that. But no, it's a really cool scoreboard.
Now you won't have any concern about whether or not you should take it out of the box.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely should and throw the box away. So here we go. Let's spin to see who the lucky winner of the Patreon Patron of the Month monthly contest is. Round and round she goes. Where she stops, only the Wheel of Names knows. And the winner is Robert Davies. Congratulations. Robert Davies, longtime supporter of the Son Ranto Show down in Florida. Great friend. We used to share bleacher tickets. So
nice.
He had season tickets, which he wisely gave up. So if you would like,
what? There's something else nice.
What?
Carol Coven just turned 69.
Oh, congratulations and happy birthday, Carol.
Yes, happy birthday.
Nice birthday. The Patreon prize for this next month, and I have something to read real quick. That was sent in by Corey Furlong, who is also a Patreon supporter and a longtime contributor to this show. He went out to the Field of Dreams a game, and I'm going to do a little show and tell here. I'm going to show you my shirt, which you can see. This is that the Field of Dreams game shirt with the
Well,
Cubs.
that's the very cool one, Danny. But there seems to be something missing.
Yeah, there is something missing. It's the Nike swoosh, because this is an unauthorized knockoff sent to me by Corey Furlong
Hey!
from Dyersville. And I got a letter. I'm going to read about it, but we're going to give away this Cubs Reds beer koozie. The one side says Reds, the other side says Cubs. I guess you could put anything in it, beer or a soda or a water or possibly a very wide dick. But
A big gym,
a
so
big
you don't
gym,
get your
if you
hands
will.
all chocolatey.
But yeah, we're gonna give this away, and I'm gonna add to it. I'm gonna add to it a set. The longtime listeners of the Sun Ranto show know exactly what these are. These are the 1914 Club pilfered plates from when me, yours truly, stole a pallet of plates. I found these.
Shitload of them.
I found these. I didn't think I had any more. I have 6 more. So I'm going to give them away 3 at a time. So along with the beer koozie, you win 3 pilfered plates.
Wait, 3 at a time, Danny?
Well, should I do 2 at a time? Or is 3 an odd number?
3 is a really odd number. You either do 2
or 4 and 2.
3 sets of 2 or a 4 and 2. Yeah,
Okay,
but you don't do 3.
Well, okay. So I'll do 2 plates. The prize just got worse. 2 plates. Thanks, Michael. If you don't like the prize, thank Michael. He's the one that turned your 3 plates into 2. Carrie wants the plates, so maybe I'll put my finger on the button. Finger on the scale for you. There's nothing I can do. It's the wheel of names it picks. So congratulations, and hashtag chance in the chat. You could win a chance to have me send a Frank Chance postcard to you with a positive message of love. And I'm looking forward to doing that. So hashtag chance in the chat tonight. But and later on in the show, we're going to be doing the Amazon Shopper of the Month. Everybody that shops through our Amazon links and helps us out of the show get 0.5% back. That doesn't go into Jeff Bezos's idiot pocket. Goes to us. So we're going to give that away later. But in the meantime, let's talk about having sex at the Rogers.
Hold on. Did
What?
you actually read the letter from
Oh,
Corey?
no, I forgot. All right.
Yeah,
So
I
here's
gotta-
the story. Yeah, you keep me on track. Keep me on track. All right. This is from Corey. Thanks for the postcard. Yada, yada, yada. Enjoy this knockoff t-shirt I purchased from a farmer's machine shed. During this purchase, I learned of a farmer's get-rich-quick scheme that was terribly executed and ended with over 1,000 t-shirts being confiscated from his pickup.
Oh,
He said,
no.
I also threw in a koozie. Keep it for yourself or give it away, which I'm giving it away, whatever you like. Good luck with the graphic tee, Anyway, he says, anything with graphic gives me big man tits. The struggle is real. So here we go. It's not giving me tits. It's okay.
No,
But it's
you
also,
look good.
It looks okay. Like I don't know. I haven't drank since last Friday too. So that's kind of helping with the old tit situation. Like I lose my tits first thing. So I do. So, all right, now let's talk about the series. Kevin, you watched a couple of losses, one clown ball extra inning to start it all out. What are you seeing from the Cubs? How was the atmosphere? Were there a lot of Cub fans in attendance? What happened?
So I was actually surprised. There were not a lot of Cubs fans. There were more Angels fans the day before. I saw more Angels jerseys everywhere. So we saw some Cub fans here and there. It wasn't a weekend matchup, so there wasn't too many. Good vibes. All the Jays fans are pretty friendly. I had no one, I'm not going there. Hey, I'm also a Jays fan. I also like the Jays too. No, I'm cheering for the Cubs and, going back and forth. Had some, some smart fans too, which sometimes I wasn't used to growing up in Toronto. A lot of smart baseball fans, but people were actually realistic. You root for your team, but you're like, you get a video review and they're like, no, he's out. No, I'm just like, what? Did you actually just agree that, he's out?
I hate
sensible?
that. Yeah, I
like-
hate that when you sit next to somebody and it's clear that they're out and they're like, no, he's safe.
And you're just like, come on. Like, I don't care what team it is. It's like just open your eyes. Like, hey man, I want my guys to be safe and your guys to be out. Well, what do you expect? But great vibes all around. The confusing thing was you had the first game Monday. Blue Jays are wearing red jerseys.
I saw that. I was confused when I turned the game on.
Yeah.
I had to double check. I was, and this is a real thing because I'm on the internet on the pirate stations, and I never know what game I'm going to get sometimes. Yeah. And I totally thought I had the wrong game.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though. The Blue Jays, the word blue is literally in the name of the team. They were wearing a stitch of blue. Not
no blue whatsoever.
Maybe a little in the hat. Maybe a little like blue speck. But like,
no, the hat was the Canadian maple leaf, and it was just red and white. I don't think
that's it. It was. Is it like some holiday? Was it a national?
Well, they do it for Canada Day, and I'm okay. Like, hey, Canada Day, great, red flag. Get it for that. It was nothing. I'm just like, why are you wearing red jerseys? I'm confused. There's this 4-year-old girl behind me trying to figure out who to cheer for, and her dad's like, no, you're cheering for the Blue Jays. Okay, so I'm cheering for the blue guys. That's like, no, you're cheering for the red guys for the Blue Jays. And she's like, what? And she's so I'm confused too.
Yeah, it was really strange.
Bill Siggis says metric system blue.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, and technically because of the exchange rate, this only counted as 0.8 losses, so that wasn't so bad.
That's good.
It
could be worse.
It could be way worse. Yeah, the Cubs, they out-hit the Blue Jays in this game. The game goes 11. It was 5-4. Assad started this game.
He was great.
Yeah, two. Now I've seen him here at Wrigley. Mm-hmm. Now you've seen him. He looks like the real deal, right? I mean, he looked like composed and
he got out of some jams. You know, he wasn't like strikeout king, but he's there, composed, just had it. I wanted to they took him out in mid innings, so I wanted to give him a standing O. I wanted to cheer him as he's walking off. I didn't get to do that. That was the only disappointment for me in that.
Yeah, and he had some problem with his glasses or something.
That was weird. I was trying to figure that out.
His glasses fell off or something. Now you got a poem for this game, right? We should probably start there.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a poem.
Okay, cool. Well, let me give you a little background music. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes I feel like the music cancels your voice out. So when you start talking, I'm going to play the music, and then you got to come in real loud to put the music down. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right. Here comes the music. Can't even hear it, right?
All right, music. Good enough. Music down. Okay, here we go. Cubs poem 129, Chicago 4, Toronto 5. Blue Jays wearing red shirts, Haps Tootbland hurts. The spinning arm never stops, Willie even waves on drops. David Loss wants 2 innings, coaches don't like winning. Jays force clown ball, Cubs offense stalls, nice Toronto line, Blue Jays number 69.
Yeah, that was the Blue Jays' 69th win. And I will say this, too. With the roof closed on Monday, as it was, it is 68 degrees Fahrenheit in there because they keep it around 20 Celsius because there is no 60, 20. It's either 20 or 21, and neither one of those numbers transfer to 69 Fahrenheit. So you just can't, when you're in Canada, and they're doing it and they set their air to 20 and they're measuring it at 20, it's always going to come up like 68 point something. And at 21, it's going to be like 71 degrees. So you just don't have it.
I'll tell you what I have in my house. We do everything Celsius. So if I'm, doing the champ downstairs, I have a little, I guess it's a Bears clock, but it does Fahrenheit. So, I can look by and it's 69F. I'm like, nice. And then I'll walk by.
Well, good. At least you imported a little bit of Fahrenheit into your life.
A little bit. I kind of know. Yeah.
Even though I wish we had Celsius, I wish we had the metric system.
It makes sense.
It's like every goddamn thing Canada's doing up there. I just want
a
that
lot
down
more sense,
here.
yeah.
And I'm not going to go up there because it's too cold, but I do want their shit down here.
Well, and you brought up the Hap Tuplan. There were a lot of Tuplans in this, in not in just this game, but this entire year. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but this series, it just kept happening. And when the games are close and you got the Tuplans, then you're like, well, if they wouldn't have done that, then they would have won. And then you're just left there being mad about how stupid they are on the base paths. Like, what are they doing? Like, Hap takes off. Like, dude, he was like still getting the signs or something.
I know. He didn't
he's like trying
he didn't
to
even have to step off the rubber. He wasn't on the rubber.
He was like, what? He was like, had the rosin bag. Like, he was not even, what are you doing? Oh man, that was rough.
He thought it was going to be one of those things like, and you've seen it before where somebody just slowly sneaks past the pitcher because he's really just not paying any attention whatsoever. But yeah, it was dumb. Yeah. And then Willie waving on the dropped ball, like sending the guy running home on a dropped third strike, and they get a double play out of that shit.
Yeah.
I was yelling at Willie. I was on Willie's side there, like not on his side, but on where he was. I'm like, Willie, what the?
On his ass.
I was on his ass about that. Going, what the fuck are you doing?
It really all year it's been like this, and I don't even think at that point it's Willie, because they're just going like the protocol.
Somebody's sitting there. Willie should look, if that's the case, if he's not specifically telling them to go, he should at least be specifically telling them not to go.
Yeah, he's like, hey,
with Fron Mill, at least I'm sure it's at least twice, but it seemed like I was going, what the fuck, Fron Mill, like 5 times. Like, why are you going, dude? You're slow as fuck.
He tried to stretch a single into a double. Yeah. And it didn't work. A couple guys did that. I think Ortega tried it too, and it didn't work. And it was all when they're like throwing the ball around. Like they throw the ball home, but they didn't. It hit the cutoff man. Like, just they're always going for the extra base. They're always going on contact from third base. And I just feel like it doesn't work as much as it does work. Like, it's not worth doing, except maybe with like 2 outs and like the worst hitter on your team's up next, or like if the game situation specifically calls for giving it a try because there's no other way you're gonna get it in, probably
they put a DH in so that you don't have to do this shit. like there's no pitcher coming up.
It's frustrating, and it happened pretty much every single. I'm looking at my notes for this game, and I have a note here about when Chapman scored Biggio. He knocked him in, and that's what tied it. And I had a thought about this because that ball was hit into the outfield. I just want to get into more ineptitude and a loss, but like the ball's hit to Hap in left. Does anybody? I mean, how many times have we seen Hap throw anybody out? Like, he just doesn't throw anybody out.
He doesn't have a good arm.
He doesn't have a good arm, which is why he was a second baseman that's now in left field.
If he doesn't catch it, he's not throwing someone out.
Exactly. So I'm thinking back to Schwarber again, and I got started getting mad about Schwarber and how like the left field position is always like kind of, I don't know, like they just put your worst guy over there. And I don't really see why you do that, because there's a fair amount of balls hit out there. Granted, you don't want to happen shortstop. Like, that's where most of the balls are going. But how would it be that most of the balls are hit to shortstop, but not to left? Is it that right field just harder because the sun is usually in your eyes or something?
I think that's it. I think the sun is usually in your eyes, and I think maybe just the angle is weird. I don't know, but left field is generally considered the easier position. And I don't know exactly why, but but the dome's closed, so it doesn't matter.
Dome's closed didn't matter. Nighttime doesn't matter, but
I'm just curious about that. Like, in the outfield, are there truly more balls hit to right field? Like, you want your best fielder, but I'm just saying they bury some guy that usually kind of stinks out there in the field. And like Eloy has been out there for the White Sox. It's gone terribly. He has hurt himself a bunch of times out there. And then you just, I don't know why. So you're just like, oh, it's okay. Well, the left fielder has a noodle arm. No problem. We'll be fine. Like, and I hate to diss on Hap. I love Hap. Like, he's one of my favorite players on the team. But like,
the other thing, though, you got to think about left field, though, is if the ball gets hit out there and it's a hit, they can easily get it into second and third with an easy throw. Whereas in right field, you need somebody out there with a cannon to get
That's
it
true.
across to third if they need to. So you do need the better athletic player out there.
Yeah. Here's from John Pickus, who's watching tonight. But according to Baseball Savant, Hap is in the 69th percentile for sprint speed. So he said one bad thing about Hap
Nice.
and one nice thing about him. So, yeah, what else happened in this game? Yeah, we couldn't score the courtesy flusher, and they could. And I mean, that was just, I mean, that we lost on that two plan. That's when
they also couldn't for one inning.
What do you mean?
Didn't this go 11?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, they couldn't score two courtesy flushers. The first one got erased on a smoked ball that ended up in a double play.
Yeah.
So nothing you could really do about that. But in the 11th, Franmil Reyes tried to stretch a pop-up into a double and was thrown out. Meanwhile, Suzuki, because it was a pop-up that probably should have been caught, but it kind of landed in no man's land down the left field line, could only make it to third. And then the Blue Jays scored in the 11th. Meanwhile, people were fucking in the stands. So we got to talk a little bit about this. It made all the headlines the next day. These poor people, you can see them up there. They're poor people. I mean, they're
Poor
actually
people.
quite lucky. These poor people get lucky up in the corner. They thought nobody was seeing them, but of course they were seen. They're in public, and there's the cops going up to get them, and they seem pretty oblivious. They're up in that top row, and the cops are just marching up the stairs. Gotta do something awkward. They're probably hoping they could catch a peek of something. Is probably what they're doing. Those cops.
Oh yeah, they're being as quiet as possible.
Yeah, like shh,
just sneak it up. Like
yeah. So anyway, people were like tagging me in that, which is always nice when people tag you in sex on Twitter, because like you need a new song that no, instead of no fighting in the bleachers, I should do no fucking in the bleachers. And I was like, wait, but that's not something I believe in. Actually, say no, period. Fucking in the bleachers.
Yeah, there you go.
How I feel about it. And then I saw this other thing, and I thought it was related to this sex in the Rogers Center, but apparently this happened earlier this month, or earlier last month, I should say, in August, at an A's game, because according to TMZ Sports, that no arrests had been made in the case of a couple accused of engaging in a sex act at an A's game earlier this month. But cops say they have at least a pic of the suspects, releasing it to TMZ Sports on Wednesday. The Oakland Police Department tells us it believes the man in the black shirt and the woman in the pink pants, of course, are the ones. I assume that's all they were wearing. The man was only in a black shirt and she was only wearing pink pants. So you can imagine what they were doing. They got a little too frisky in the stands at the A's versus Mariners game, which must have been jam-packed.
Always jam-packed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a real Donnybrook of a contest there.
Yeah, you know when they do the whatever, wired and tired and whatever, tired is just going to every ballpark. Wired is fucking in every ballpark.
There you go.
Exactly. Tired is when you get home after that.
I think just no one cared about someone fucking in the A's ballpark. There's no one there anyways. I went there for a game. I think there were about 5,000 people. I got a pre-warning from the security guy because I swore too much. He's like, there are kids around here. I'm like,
where are they?
Where? No kids around me. I'm like, there's like a 16-year-old, like 20 rows up. He probably knows some more swear words than I do. And they're going, it's a pre-warning. You just got to cut down the swears. I got so mad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, where those people were screwing up there looked pretty empty.
Oh yeah, it's empty way up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's playoffs. It's like that's always been an empty spot. So that's kind of a zone like what you can see it though. Like it's not like if someone's doing that up there, it's not like, oh yeah, if you I wasn't paying attention, but if you're just looking around, you'll see it. You're not hiding up there.
No.
Well, I do think it was funny though, because I think didn't somebody on the last show say you're looking in the windows at the hotel for people having sex, and then here first game, it's not in the hotel, it's like right in the stands. And I mean, I know it wouldn't be comfortable over near the seats, but they were like as open as possible.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
right? Like
you could go up there and lay down on the ground and nobody would see you. You could just like, I mean,
if they laid down on the
peanuts.
seats.
Yeah, it's not comfortable up there. I've been up there before. I don't know if those exact ones, but it's tight up there. It's like if you're, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be fucking up there.
That's what he said. but I mean, they look like they're having fun. They probably just had a few too many. I mean, or not.
Yeah, well, I think they probably watched the last podcast that you guys like, oh, these Canadians fighting. It's like, let's show these guys.
Let's show these guys.
Let's show these guys. No, this is what Canadians do, not these assholes.
Well, I mean, I've done stuff like this before. Like publicly, done things like this, and it's fun. It's exciting.
Oh yeah.
I told them, the first thing I saw him, anybody that was outraged, nobody was really that outraged. Here's the thing. Nobody, you don't want to around the kids and stuff, but it wasn't. So I don't care. Like, just like, who cares? They were screwed at the ball game.
I'd rather that than someone running on the field and messing up the game. It's like, yeah, don't run on the field. Go fuck upstairs. So
I'd rather this than cup snakes. I'd rather it than the bleacher fights. That's for damn sure. So I'm fine with it. I say more of this. In fact, I'm gonna just lay out the gauntlet here and just say, go fuck in the bleachers. Everybody. Get out there, have some sex in the stands, and let's
no fighting in the bleachers, fucking in the bleachers.
What do they call that little club area in the batter's eye in the bleachers now?
Oh, you mean where all the bushes are?
Yeah, and then there's like that little club, like
what is that? That's the
where you can sit and watch the game.
The Fannie Mae Club,
and no one can see you, but you can see them.
You could have a goddamn orgy in there. All your friends,
I bet
and
they
nobody would ever see.
Someone had to have done that.
Yeah,
come on. There's people with money. It's just like, we're gonna do this.
Oh yeah.
Well, I can't wait till. I hope
the Ricketts have had a lot of eyes wide shut parties at Wrigley.
Get out the masks. But can you imagine telling people that you were conceived at Wrigley Field?
That would be incredible.
It would be incredible. You'd be the greatest Cub fan of all time. It's like, oh yeah, I was up in the Fannie Mae suite. Mom and Dad got with it. That'd be awesome. So, game two. We can move on from all this, I suppose, before I tell too much of my life. Game two.
130, Chicago 3, Toronto 5. 28 pitches, Back to the Future, Stroh to the past. 30 teams faced, Toronto's the last. Let's go, Brendan. Little begins, hitting Bichette. Inning won't end. Wilson Dong and giving lessons. Morel over 18, going deep, no longer stressing. Cubs, of course, down up north. There it is.
We lost this by one more run this time. Oh, nice job. I forgot to snap. Vladimir Guerrero, Vladdy Jr., he used Javi's bat to slug a home run in this game. Pretty much beat us. Stroh didn't pitch all that great. He was very number 3-ish.
He was okay. He wasn't lights out. What do you got? One strikeout that game?
One run.
Nothing.
5 innings. It's just that he struggled in that 5th inning. Like he threw 25 pitches or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his ERA remains under 4. You just kind of want that. I mean, I know that guys that come to the Cubs in their first year always stink, and this has been okay. But I'm looking for Stroh to do a little bit more for the signing. The big blow. It was Brendan. Is that it? Brendan Little?
Yeah, Brendan Little.
Well, he leaves the major leagues with a ERA 40, 50. 40. That's not 450. It's 40.50 because he gave up 3 runs on 2 hits and only got 2 outs. He blew the save. Rucker came in, gave up another one, just kind of put it away. I was kind of impressed with Nick Madrigal's defense. Did that look as good? I know that was Michael just made eyes. He's like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
what?
No, And I think he made good defensive plays because he was positioned wrong in the shift. So it looked cool. He's like, why was he standing there? And then he fielded the ball where he should have been standing. You know, it was like kind of that thing. Was that I wanted to ask you though, Kevin, did you notice that from the stands? You're like, oh, that was a pretty sweet play, or was that just something that looked weird in the angles on TV?
It's kind of one of those things, like going on Canadian perspective, right? We're looking at hockey, right? You do the same thing when you're a goalie, where you're just like, you have a whole like someone shoots a puck, oh, you grab it and it looks amazing, and you're like, well, that looked cool, but what the fuck was he doing there in the first place? Like, okay, he got it, great, like awesome, but like it could have been easier.
Yeah, it's a lot of it was a lot of like Almora making amazing plays out in center field because he actually couldn't really get to the ball. Yeah. So then he would dive and make the amazing play, but like that's
the only thing you could do, right? Like it's a showboating. It's not showboating. You have to do it to get the play, but that's it.
But other center fielders could have just ran there.
Yeah, it's like, oh, or even trot there. It's like, oh, I'm in the right spot. I know where he's gonna hit it. Let's go.
So that's what Madrigal was doing. But he's got some flair. He spun around, threw the ball.
Yeah.
And you were up in the center field beer pen or something. Was it called?
So they got the flight deck is what it's called, right? So you get a ticket, you get a cheap ticket wherever. I paid too much for my ticket there, but got off a buddy to do him a favor. But you go there and there's a couple. So you have like, if you look in the outfield, there's a whole GA. You just go, you buy a ticket, you go whatever, grab some beers. I was hanging out with some Jays fans there from Jays Twitter, and they were cool as shit, just like, okay, and we're bantering back and forth a little bit, but just having a good time. But yeah, if you ever go to Jays game, go there for a game. It's awesome.
Did either Morel's or Wilson's homer come anywhere near you?
No. Well, it's below, so there's the whole so there's the seats below, which are 100 level, so they're there. Home runs rarely get the high, so we're up a little bit.
Yeah,
home runs have gotten there, but they really got to hit it.
Yeah. So Wilson hit one in this game. He hobbled around the bases, barely made it around. Looked like Roy Hobbs in The Natural, like on the side, blood coming out of his side, like just it looked terrible.
I noticed that in his first at bat when he hit the ball and didn't make it halfway down the line to third. I was just like, how in the hell is he catching?
And if you remember,
his ankle is bugging him that much.
He rolled his ankle in the Field of Dreams game nearly a month ago.
Yeah.
What day was that? Let's look at my shirt.
He is
8/11. What day? The 11th. I got it right here on the shirt. Read it in a week.
He looks in the mirror. He's like, November 8th.
So I don't know what he's doing out there. I mean, are they trying to kill him? Like, I understand that we don't really have a lot of catchers on this team, but you could have PJ Higgins.
They
have Gomes. They
literally have 3 catchers on in the dugout.
And we're in
PJ
fall
Higgins,
training.
Gomes are both there. He doesn't have to catch right now if his legs bother him that much.
So my question is this. Is Wilson Contreras insisting that he plays on this ankle to show how tough he is to get his value up for this contract situation? Or is it the Cubs trying to kill him and get his level down so that you got that fucked up ankle that you were hobbling around on?
Right.
We're only going to give you, 15 mil a year.
You roll this Chapman, like we're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like, I mean, Wilson must have some say at this point whether he plays on.
I was wondering if maybe it was a Wilson and Stroman thing, right? Because as soon as Stroman was out of the game, Wilson was out of the game. I mean, it was clear earlier in the game that he could barely, walk on that leg, but they let him stay in for another at bat where he hit the home run. But then as soon as, so his third at bat,
he was out.
They pulled him, but that was the 5th inning after they were getting rid of Stroman already.
Well, he didn't play in game 3, so there's something to that. As far as game 2, they had Morel. You mentioned it in the poem.
Over 18
Yeah, really tough stretch here for him.
I guess because I was rooting for him. Remember last show, I was like, oh, I want to see Morrell, and he won out.
They talked a lot about it right before that at bat, that the inning before. Wilson was in there working with him on his swing, talking to him about what he should be doing with the swing and stuff. And then, obviously whatever he told him, it worked because he went yard. And then, Wilson gave him the mean mug when he came back, like acted like he was mad at him.
Yeah. Two hits in the game. One of them being the long fly. And, I think we're all rooting for him. He's definitely fallen off, and he's going to have to make adjustments, but I love what he does. I love his game. I love that he goes up to in his first at bat and touches the umpire and the catcher and gives them both monkeypox. And then he looks down at the pitcher, and he gives him a salute, being like, "Hey, I always like salute people before I kill them." So and then he goes yard. I like that kind of attitude. No, I'm kidding. No, I was, I used to audition a lot. And in the room, normally you just walk in, like I'm talking about for musicals, and go sing your song. And then, but you've got this whole panel of people you've got to sing for and perform for to try to get this job. And that was always my go-to thing. I'd go in and I'd shake everybody's hand, from the person that I was reading with to, who's like the proctor, to the assistant, to the assistant, to the assistant. There'd be like 10 to the famous producer, that everybody's supposed to kowtow to. Like I kind of always have that attitude. I like priding myself on treating people the same no matter who they are. And from meeting Christopher Morel, knowing that he does that to the umpire and the catcher, he did that to me at Nisei Lounge too. He did that to me when I told him when I was in front of Sarah Sanchez's apartment. He came home on his scooter, and I go, "Hey, nice game, Christopher." And he turned around, I was like, "Hey, man, thank you." And
is he Canadian? Do we know?
He's Dominican.
He's not from Canada? I don't know.
Well, there are a lot of Canadians in the Dominican Republic. When I was there, there were maybe more Canadians than Americans, because you frankly get more time off than we do to go down there. So, I think
we don't have to pay for our health care. So it's like, look at all that money there.
Yeah, we go down there just to get butt lifts is pretty much all we do. Anyway,
we do that too. We don't get butt lifts for free, unfortunately. So
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I go down just for the butt. The lift part, I'm confused about.
So, but no, I love Christopher Morel. I'm rooting for him. That's all I'm saying. It's like, I love that attitude. I think it's great when you treat everybody the same. I think it's awesome that when you greet everybody in a room. I'm the same way, and I love Christopher Morel, and I want him to win MVP.
Yeah, he is struggling right now. But he had a hot streak, and now he's struggling. And this is where we find out, whether he's really a big leaguer, because a lot of guys come out and they do well, and then as soon as a book gets made on them, they're done. If he can come back and work out a way to, start hitting the ball the way he was before, then he's a dude. Like, he's gonna be there. So It's really interesting right now to see what he's doing. But once again, Wilson Contreras taking a kid under his wing, being the leader in the dugout, like helping people. And this is a guy that the Ricketts or Hoyer or somebody doesn't want on their team. And I don't understand it at all.
Well,
it drives me insane.
Yeah. Sorry,
go ahead. No,
I'm talking to a lot of people about this whole fact. I'm like, you go, no. But a whole lot of this is just like, what? This guy freaking loves the Cubs. He wants to stay with the team. He wants to be here. He's doing all he can. Why? Like, what? The way he was treated going into the the trade deadline. It's like, oh, he thought he was going to be traded up until like that game, until it's like trade deadline's gone. He's like, oh, I guess I'm not traded. Okay.
And immediately started playing better.
Yeah. And no, it's unconscionable. And I'm gonna bring it up in just like a little teaser for the second half of the show, is that finally the other people that are looking at the catchers list and who needs a catcher next year, like David Kaplan was now quoted, and then everybody had articles about that. Now the Cardinals are going to go after Wilson Contreras, and I'm like, well, we've been saying this since freaking last year, and now everybody's like, oh, there's Carl Wilson to the Cardinals. I'm like, dude, like, listen to our show from last year where we're like, I bet you he goes to the Cardinals. Everybody's like, no, he won't. No way. And I'm like, oh, they need like, what do you think is going to happen?
And to be fair, it was you, Danny, because Crawley and I refused to mention it. We don't want to speak it into existence. But yes, Danny has been on this for a long time, and it is funny how some of these things come up and it's just like, this is old news to us. What have they been doing?
Yeah, exactly. They're like, they must have dug into the Sun Ranto archives and heard me musing in hour 3 at some point about Wilson Contreras after a bunch of dick jokes that they made it through. So, but no, this was this is the front of Bleacher Nation, which is now they're finally getting around to quoting Kaplan, who said it on the Cubs Talk podcast. Somebody said it to me, and they're like, epic rant about Ohtani, which we'll definitely talk about in the middle section from Gordon. They got in a big fight on the Cubs Talk podcast. Yep. I loved it. But Kaplan says the Cardinals are absolutely, which quotes around the absolutely, going to be in play for Wilson Contreras this offseason. Why wouldn't they be? They got a retiring catcher and a MVP all-star catcher, not MVP, but an all-star catcher from
Zero no-hitter catcher.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Overrated catcher. He was okay. He did okay, but he was a cheater.
Right. Wilson's got one under his belt.
Yeah, Wilson's got one.
Yeah.
It's very 100% better, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, I guess we'd do game 3. Let's try it differently this time. So you start talking and then I'll start the music.
Okay.
See if that helps.
Get the volumes right. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Cubs poem 131, Chicago 7, Toronto 5. It's a Farrell start? We were wrong. Bullpen game all night long. Offense had to match. 7 pitchers throwing, 7 runs scored. Ray is still showing. Willie still waving. Runners still out. Stat guys hate RBIs, but runs leave no doubt.
Now it garbled the middle. Better to garble the beginning, yeah. But snap. Yeah.
Snap your fucking gribble.
Cubs actually won this one probably because you weren't there, Kevin.
Absolutely. So, that's just how it works. It's like, fuck.
Pretty bad luck there, brother.
Well, I had my neighbor who used to be a season ticket holder for the Jays just chirping at me. Oh, yeah, you like those first 2 games? I'm like, yeah, fuck you.
You missed the one you should have been at.
Yeah.
This one I made me posit the question, is Zach McKinstry actually good? Which I got various answers about that. But he went 2 for 4.
And he's still 10 points under 200.
Yeah, had a triple.
2 strikeouts.
2 strikeouts though too. Why they lead him off is beyond me. Like, give the guy a chance, put him in the 9th spot. Instead, you put Morel down there, who basically batted like a pitcher, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts.
Yeah.
So it wasn't great, but they managed to pound out 10 hits. They had a big 3-run third. They could have scored more, but Ortega popped up and tried to stretch a double, which he got out, but it scored Horner. And then they also had a situation where they scored a run on a 2 plan, which I was like, oh, let's try to score runs on what we're great at, which is getting out on the bases. So if you got a guy at third, it actually worked for once.
Yeah, that's like a little league play, because you're not supposed to throw to second on that because the guy at third will score in little league, especially, maybe not so much in the major leagues. But I thought we should call that a toot-blasm.
Oh, because you like it.
Thrown out on the base paths like a smart man. Because they scored and it's orgasmic. It's a toot-blasm. I love it.
Let's make it a thing. Let's do this.
That was a toot blasm. Well, let's hope we
Hashtag
just.
Toot Blast.
I'd rather score runs the old-fashioned way, with just like getting hits and not getting outs. Like we do make a lot of runs on outs. It seems it's like, well, he was on third and we rolled over to second with 1 out, and that was the
Think we can get, right?
yeah, it's what we could do.
We had a guy in third because of an ill-conceived stretch to a triple that he got lucky with.
Yeah,
And then they pull over to out. Yep.
it's all our runs are luck. That's the thing. That's sad about it. Vladdy Jr. hit another double this time in the corner with Javi's bat, which they're making a big thing out of, shoving it in our face. Like, I'm like, dude, he's not on our team anymore. Like, we don't really care about Javi's stupid bat anymore.
Yeah.
But the Reyes, Franmil Reyes hit another home run. And, this is what I'm here for. Like, if we have it, like, I know we're going to do a DH section in the middle section of our show. But this is what a DH should be. Just go up there and pop a home run.
That's
At
what you
least, yeah, that's what you do.
Well,
if you can't play the field,
foreshadowing, that is what they do. Like, it's really, that's it.
Yeah.
So
do. That's what you're there for.
well, if we're gonna have that guy, at least he's doing it. Whereas, like, at least he's doing it right now because he
So
got released from the Indians or from the Guardians because of that crap.
was
from not
he
doing it.
was he a DH with the Guardians, or was he actually playing a
don't-
position most of the time? I don't
I think
really
I
remember.
think he was a DH, and so I was talking to my buddy's dad's a big Guardians fan. He's like, he just strike out all the time. He's strike out. So they got rid of him eventually. So
Well, and this is interesting for us because Franmil is the first actual DH for the Cubs. Like,
Yeah, in the history of DHs. Yeah. I mean,
nobody else has been used like this at all. Everybody's kind of they've always used it as like a half a break day.
has he even been put at a position or just DH?
No,
Because-
well,
He hasn't
pitcher.
played in the field at all.
Yeah, pitcher.
Pitcher was the
Oh yeah, I forgot.
he had one full inning and he's got
He
a
looked
0.
fucking great.
Yeah, he was great. He dialed it up at 90 and he had some high heat. He also like nailed the dude in the back for fun.
Whatever. Probably deserved it.
He was a left fielder and a right fielder. Remember that was the one that Derek Gould got all mad about for the
Yeah.
Cardinals. He nailed the Cardinal in the back and he got a double play and not
It was Pujols.
You know
He
what?
hit
Good for
Pujols
him.
with
Good
a
for him.
71 mile per hour curveball.
even better.
What?
He played 81 innings this year for the Guardians in right field. And
Okay.
so on an AL team, he actually plays the field.
Yeah, isn't that fucking the world? Oh God!
And 9 innings and left.
And how is we were talking
right
about this
field.
earlier with right field? You've got to be fast and
Well,
athletic. Like,
Honestly, we don't need any more outfielders.
but how is he a right fielder? Like, he's not fast.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Well, that's why maybe the Guardians got rid of his ass. They're like, well, we don't need this guy. He's terrible out here.
And maybe that was the whole thing. He's like, I feel like shit because I'm out here in right field and I really can't get to the ball.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, well, you got Happen left, and so I don't know. I'm fine with him just being a pure hitter, like also for some like late inning pop. I just kind of wish he hit from the other side of the plate.
Yeah.
I mean,
That would fulfill a bigger need for us, I think, having the lefty pop, but
Or
Yeah,
more pop.
I don't know.
If he had more pop, it'd be
or just
shit more.
Hey, that was an Apotaco in that
True.
third game. So
Yep.
he muscled that. That was a high outside fastball, and he just went with it and popped it over the fence. So it got out
I'll
real
tell you
quick.
about when dome's open though. It's the wind. It's a little not Wrigley wind, but like you have it, and we had some the first game. They're going okay if the dome's open, that's out. Like for both teams, and you had some like deep, out in left and right.
Yeah. And it was a bullpen game for the Cubs. So I was kind of surprised we won it because we used 7 pitchers. Wellman, how do you say his name? I've heard it many different ways now from all our broadcasters.
I think it's Uelman.
Well,
But
people
if you
call him
say it really
Ullman.
fast, it just sounds like
Ullman?
Wellman.
Uelman,
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
We'll have to
Elton?
ask him at the next Bleacher Bum Band show because he did come to that too with Morel. I'm gonna be like, dude, we got a bet going. How
Yeah,
do you say
what's
your
up?
name? We got a bet going. How long are you gonna last in the majors?
oh
Because
my God.
you give up 3 runs in this one too. I mean, he blew 2 games basically. I mean, he didn't blow this game because we won, but he tried. Farrell was not great. I don't know what his future with this team is. This is fall training. I'm wearing the hat right now. We got 7 pitchers. Who knows who will be on the team? Wick, a Canadian, actually pitched his first professional game in Canada in this game, and he didn't blow it, which we've seen a lot this year. So
maybe he had that Canadian, luck going on here. I don't know. Unfortunately, can't play all his games here.
It's like a 4-leaf maple, four leaf maple leaf.
Yeah, no, I got confused right in the middle of that one, didn't you?
I really did. I was like, wait, am I about to say leaf twice?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Get ready. Here comes the double leaf. So yeah, what was strange in this game was, this game specifically is like the big hit that was given up by Wellman was to Alejandro Kirk, and he hit his first home run in a month.
Yeah, he's been slumping. He made it the All-Star game, Alejandro Kirk, right? He's been killing it first half. This half, not so well.
Yeah, and then who was the guy that hit the home run in the first game? The big shot. Here, I'll just put it up here.
Who did it? It was
or was it the second game?
I don't know. I was drunk the first game, so
I got it. No, it was Hernandez and
No, Vladdy hit one.
Vladdy hit
I hit one second game, right?
Jansen.
Oh,
That's
Jansen,
the guy
yeah.
who Danny Jansen, who nobody's ever heard of. Even the guys on the Blue Jays didn't know who he was because he just got there. He's brand new. And then he goes up there and he hit the big shot. So there's 2 dudes that hit 3-run homers off of our guys that you never heard of. So guys you never heard of hit home runs off of guys we never heard of, except for one of our teams or one of the Blue Jays, one of the teams.
The blue team, right?
The blue team.
the blue team, not the red team.
Not the red team.
I'm confused.
Well, they have a chance. I mean, they're winning 2 or 3 to the Cubs is kind of important. From the Cubs is kind of important for the Blue Jays right now because they're the 3rd wild card spot right now.
They're gunning for the spot, and the home field's huge, right? Because you get first round, and you get all 3 games. If you play 3 games, are at home now.
So are you saying that because of COVID, I wonder if they're going to do something different? So COVID protocols being as such that in a playoff game, if the Blue Jays were to make it, that teams would be shorthanded if they got home field.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
It is what it is. It's like we said last time.
As long as it's not the Royals, right? Like
Yeah.
the Royals went up there with like 4 players and beat the shit out of the Jays.
That was ridiculous. You go, oh, they got no one. Okay, all their best players. Yeah, they got to stay home. They're not vaxxed.
Dude, how pissed would you be if you went the whole year and like you're the Yankees and you just go up there and play Toronto and you're like, fuck, and you're like half your dudes are gone because they
the thing is, anyone in the AL East is there. I think they're all vaxxed now, or most of them. I don't even know, just because it's just it's one of those things. Hey, if you're gonna play for a team, we play the Blue Jays. 3 times a year.
Dare your country have the same laws as our country?
Oh,
how dare you?
Communist Canada is just oppressing us.
My question is, how come we never hear about all the Blue Jays players that never make a road trip?
I wonder why.
So yeah, they're the 3rd wild card spot, a game and a half ahead of Baltimore. Baltimore's played more games. So they've actually played, they're 69 and 61. Baltimore is
nice.
Whereas the Blue Jays are 70 and 59. So they played one more game, I guess.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, there's your series. Cubs lost 2 or 3. It wasn't terrible. They were good games, I guess. You saw a couple good games, even
they were entertaining entertaining, right? You're saying people are like, "Oh, you must have been pissed." I'm like, you know what? I may have been pissed if it was like 10-0, and you're just like, "Ah, fuck, I saw it, stinker." But here you're kind of like, "Oh, the extra inning game. I got got free baseball."
Well,
You know,
that would piss me off, but
Michael just
fair
would have
enough.
left, gone to the CN Tower and called it a night.
You're like, "Oh, I'm done here. Okay, let's go."
no, yeah, they
Can't
were
even.
good games, and it's not like the Cubs are playing for anything.
Well, that's it. We're in fall training, so it's also like I'm not taking anything too seriously. If we're in a play exactly, if we're in a playoff run, okay, cool. Yeah, I might be a little more pissed, but right now, how many years, being Cubs fans have you like, oh, our season sucks. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go and get drunk and
Yeah,
and watch us lose. Like, what
Pretty
else you gonna
much
do?
been this whole year there,
Yeah, this
Kevin, for me.
Like, sure. And if they win, hey, bonus.
Bonus. Or sometimes I'm like, did we win?
right.
I don't
You
know.
wake up the next day, you're like, okay,
What happened? Yeah, looking at the box score.
Okay.
Well, the Blue Jays got some vibes too going on. They don't have a bad team. They got that fun home run jacket. I screenshotted this.
The NASCAR jacket.
La Gente del Barrio. Is it a NASCAR jacket? It looks like a suit jacket that they put a bunch of patches on.
No, I'm just making the joke that NASCAR always has all their fucking patches all over their shit.
Oh yeah.
So
I gotcha.
Every time I saw it, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh, it's like a NASCAR jacket.
And the other thing is, like, there was a lot of Zaidman was all over the radio. Pat Hughes did not make this trip, which made everybody wonder if Pat Hughes was on the restricted media list. And everyone's like, oh man, they're like, please, not you, Pat, please. And then somebody said, no, he's mentioned on the air that he got the shots. He'd probably this was a scheduled situation. So here's a message from Pat Hughes that he wanted me to relay to you. And that's get vaccinated. get vaccinated today and go up to Canada and go visit.
Are you saying we should get
next year?
We should let Pat inject us in some way?
Ooh.
I mean, I would. I do trust him like that. I mean, take this, you won't feel a thing.
It'll be good. But yeah, next year though, Cubs are back in Toronto. So
yeah, and we have
every year after, because it doesn't matter anymore.
And like we're talking about, it's like, yeah, it loses its specialty, right? Like it's been 4 years, and you're just like, oh great, I'm excited. Unless they're two good teams going, it's not the same.
Yeah, Dominic brings up no Boog on the broadcast either.
True.
But I guess he was doing some national stuff, or I don't know.
Who cares? As long as he's not on the fucking broadcast. I don't care where he is. He can go the fuck away. Beth Mowins, I like Beth Mowins' call. I really do. It's comfortable. It's nice. I got into a little bit of a discussion on Reddit with somebody who does not like Beth and thinks that Boog is good. And it's like the whole argument is he likes that Shambi fucking talks at all times. And I like that Beth Mowins lets the game breathe.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to do that. She's confident up there, and her and JD aren't forcing anything. They're watching a game. They're talking about what happens on the game. And if something happens that maybe she can make a joke about, she will. And she lands them.
There's a flow.
We'll talk about that later.
There's a flow. You just kind of have it. It's like, oh, okay. Not just, hey.
Yeah, not to mention the whole like baseball nap. I mean, her and JD are perfect baseball nap.
No, they are. No, they put me to sleep. I'd rather, and this takes a lot for me to say this. I chose to listen to Zach Zaidman instead of Mowins and JD because I was doing things and I was trying to stay awake. Okay. So,
if you're doing things, it is hard to listen to.
It was hard to listen to this entire series. JD because none of it was good. It was all bad.
Right. Because you may not know, like, unless you're sitting watching the game, you may not know what's going on if you're just wandering around and listening to the game, because they do let it breathe and they talk about what's happening right there on the field. And there's nothing else. like you have to pay attention. It's different than with Shambi. You have to pay attention because he just doesn't talk about the game. You may never know what the game's going on. So I don't know. I like Mullins.
It is definitely in a churn right now. But Kevin, I want to thank you for coming on and sharing your experiences with us. We'll have to, of course, have you on again. And it really sucked that I missed you this year at Wrigley, but at least we got to do this together a little bit. But definitely head up to Toronto at some point soon and hang out. This year didn't work out, but hopefully next year it will. And get up to Toronto, maybe even bring the Bleacher Bum Band over there as things thaw a little bit. I
hope so. If we can do, because we originally had a plan for you to go across the street from the Dome and play there, but COVID happened and it fucked everything up.
It fucked everything up, and so we're just kind of putting it all back together, and we will. So, well, thanks for coming on, and we're gonna let you go, and we're gonna play a quick commercial, and then we're gonna come back and talk about a whole
guys, thanks
lot
for having
of other
me.
shit. Spookog.
And
nice.
Spookog. I'm holding up a mug that says Spookog.
Well, I should sell those.
This is one of those bat things my brother got me. Like one of those, like they hollow out the bats, you can drink out of. He gave me it one year. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Let's go.
That is amazing. I love it.
So, I'm like, somebody's selling our catchphrase, and it's not us.
It was customized, but you guys should sell it.
We should. All right, thanks for coming on, man. Join our Patreon. That's how we keep the lights on. Here's a commercial for it. Spooko. All over Chicagoland, there are thirsty, frazzled, overworked Cubs podcasters who are struggling to survive one more baseball season in the dog-eat-dog world of unpaid content creation. But it doesn't have to be this way. You can make a difference. Become a super ranter at patreon.com/sunranto, where your support ensures that poor, sad, pathetic, ugly, loser Cubs podcasters can pay for tickets and beer, and in turn line the pockets of the baseball oligarch Ricketts family. Just $1 a month can buy a scorecard. $5 a month can pay for guitar strings to write a Cubs song. And $10 a month almost buys one beer at Wrigley Field. Cubs content creators are the lowest pieces of pond scum garbage that slither over the face of this planet. But super ranters help them get drunk and screw off at baseball games. What do you get out of it? The Sun Ranto Show delivered to your podcatcher without stupid advertisements like the one you're seeing and hearing right now. Plus, at other Super Ranter levels, you can get Cubs music, access to private Sun Ranto pages, the Ranter calendar, and special thanks and Ranter recognition in our live broadcasts. Plus, eligibility for monthly prizes. What does Sun Ranto get out of it? Your money. For tickets and beer. Go to patreon.com/sunranto. That's patreon.com/sunranto. And become a super ranter today. Welcome back to the Sun Ranto Show, and thank you to Kevin Ashworth. I forgot to mention this before, but Bexy Ashworth, Kevin's wife, actually plays the violin on I Didn't Come Here for a Haircut, the John Lackey song. Cool. Yeah, she plays the fiddle on that one. Very talented musician, teaches, and they have a couple of twin kids, and sure they're growing up dual Cub fan / Blue Jay fans, because that's what Kevin and Bexley both are. But it's awesome to have him on the show. We have such a wonderful community of people, and I've met some great people. Kevin's one of them. So just a couple of quick bits of news, if we must, and I'll get through this real quick. But David Bodie is back with the team. It's nice smirk, Michael.
Is he?
Is he really?
Like, so, when did they announce this?
Today.
Yeah. So after the Canada trip.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't count.
Doesn't count. You don't know.
Patrick Wisdom's another one that a lot of people might have guessed. So, but here's Bodie's numbers. If you were wondering why is this happening to us? So, I'll go back to 2020 when, we locked him up. He hit a grand slam once, and then we signed him for the next 10 years, and made his family, be able to eat. So that's good. So, but he's never batted above 257. and that was in 2019. He had 11 home runs in a Super Bowl year. He batted 200 in 2020. He batted 199 in 2021 in 327 plate appearances. Only hit 8 home runs, 606 OPS, a 63 OPS plus. And this year he's actually doing better, or he was until he got hurt, slashing 259, 322, 370 for a 692 OPS and a 94 OPS plus. Still not that good. Meanwhile, David Bodie, this is from Bleacher Nation. David Bodie is the positional addition, returning to the big league team after hitting 252, 319, 385 in his 38 games at Iowa. So he's not even hitting down there.
Now-
Bodie, 29, still owed $9.5 million for the next 2 seasons, plus a $1 million buyout on a 25-team option. I mean, I know in today's money, this is not a lot of money, but what a waste of money.
But good for Bodie. I mean, he was smart. He went in there like, I want an extension. I want $10 million. And they're like, well, sure. I guess we could do that.
Yeah,
you know,
more than 10 million. I mean, you know, he's still owed 10 million from
right.
what
He's
he's
still owed
already
10
got.
million.
Yeah.
So he made the most out of his time, because I don't know that his time is going to extend much past the Cubs. You know,
I just don't see how he fits on this team. You know, you got Nick Madrigal pretty much out there every single day. You pick up McKinstry. You've got Morel. You got to play. You got Nico.
I was going to ask you,
where the hell
too.
does David Bodie play?
I was going to
DH?
ask you, is the positional addition, is that what they're calling September call-ups now? Now that they don't do September call-ups, is it the positional addition?
Positional addition. Yeah, I guess
it's the worst name ever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
sounds like a song from Music Man or something.
It sounds like a perfect oh shit, the shirts, the blue shirts,
the
like,
what?
Like failed starter.
Oh,
Positional
obvious
addition.
shirts.
Obvious.
Yeah.
Obvious. I can't think of the word obvious.
So
yeah, I want a shirt just says positional additional or whatever it is.
Exactly. Not a bad job, especially if you're getting paid $10 million for the next 3 years for it. Jeremiah Estrada is going to stick with the team. He's the guy that came out and threw really fast. He's got a sick fastball. He's really made his way through the minor league system this year. He was in South Bend earlier this year, went to Tennessee, then to Iowa. On the year, among the 3 minor league teams, he only had a 130 earned run average, and came up and threw a pretty good inning for the Cubs so far. 2 strikeouts in that inning that he threw. So clean inning, which we haven't.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, he had a walk. He did have a walk. So still, he did. I think it excited a lot of people to see a Cubs reliever throwing that fast. I know I was pretty excited, and it sounded like Ron Coomer was excited about it too on the radio. So,
right.
So anyway,
maybe another guy that we've never heard of is going to come up and be something that we love.
Well, he had Tommy John, and then he had COVID and almost died. So check this out. Two people had this. The Sun Times had this. Also, the Tribune had it. This is from the Sun Times. And this is what he said about having COVID, what Jeremiah Estrada had said. I almost died from it. He was on the injured list, working his way back from elbow tightness when he tested positive for COVID-19 in late August of last year. At first, Estrada just had a headache, sore throat, lost his taste of senses and smell. But a week into his illness, he said he started throwing up for hours on end. Over the next several days, he made multiple trips to the hospital to receive IV fluids and medication. He started puking black fluids and experienced other gastrointestinal issues. He had chills, a fever of 102 degrees, hallucinations. Eventually, his oxygen levels dropped dangerously low and he was put on oxygen. He said he spent a couple weeks in the hospital. quote unquote, it was just the worst feeling and the worst pain I've ever felt in my life, he said. Now, granted, he's pretty young, but still does not sound fun. I remember not eating for like 2 weeks, and it was just the worst feeling ever. He said his dad, Ramiro, called the hospital to check on his son, and the medical staff member he talked to told him to pray. When the doctors are saying it's time to start praying, you're pretty sick.
Yeah.
The next day, his appetite returned. He finally, this is after the prayer, of course.
Oh, shit. Is this where this story is going?
No,
God
kinda,
damn it.
kinda. The next day, his appetite returned. He finally ate some graham crackers, just like Jesus would have wanted him to do. And have some graham crackers, my son. He'd turned the corner. A year later, he made his MLB debut, which we're talking about right now. It's absolutely unreal, he said. It was a blessing. I'm just glad to be here. Estrada said he wasn't vaccinated, was not, against COVID-19 when he got sick last year. But once his sense of taste and smell returned in late July, he got the shots. I hate shots, he said. But I was just like, that's what the Cubs want. I trust them. Because he was fully vaccinated by this week, he was eligible to serve as a substitute player when the Cubs placed Justin Steele and Adrian Sampson on the restricted list due to Canada's. So that's how this all came about.
God damn.
You know, so I don't know if anybody listening or watching this is on the fence about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. They got a new one coming out against the Omicron this fall. But this is a young athlete in the prime of his career. Not prime, like starting his career. He's young, super young. And honestly, if you're 40 and you get something like this and you get as sick as he did because you got big viral load or just are somehow susceptible in some way, whether it be genetically or something, you're fucked. You're going to die because freaking Estrada almost died. And here's a guy that wouldn't get the shots until he almost died. So,
I mean, at least we know he did the actual research.
Yeah,
he did his own research.
Yeah, he did his own research. Yeah.
And when he got done researching it, he was like, no, shot sounds good.
And I want to shout out Maddie Lee from the Sun-Times. She's the one that wrote up this article and that I screenshotted and put up here. So I'm going to the one that Megan Montemuro wrote is behind a paywall. And so this one wasn't. So that's why I used this one. But I am dropping the link in the chat to it. So check out the whole thing about Jeremiah Estrada. I mean, dude throws 100. So I stood up and took notice and read the article. And it was like, holy fuck, holy shit. Oh, my God. So we do a thing from time to time on this show called the DHO meter. So why don't I play the drop? This is where we look into how the DH has been doing.
Fuck it out. Fuck it out. Shit.
I totally forgot that was the drop. I was like, what's he about to do?
Yeah. And for those listening on the podcast, it's basically a timer and a bunch of steam, I believe, going into a coconut, and then the coconut explodes. So that's what you're listening to.
Yeah, it's insane. I have no idea why that is the DH meter, but I'm with it. So yeah, I wanted to talk about it a little bit, see where we're at in 131-ish, because everybody plays a little bit different games. The number 9 spot in the batting order, and I use the number 9 spot because that's the spot that changed. The pitcher left, and the worst player on the team got to bat there, and then they slotted in somebody else up top. So they have 11 point. The 9 spot has 11.6 hits per game in the NL.
What? Per game?
For all 15 teams. So over the 15 teams,
okay,
each night you're looking at 11.6
hits. All right. So
so less than 1 hit per team.
That's more than pitchers ever got.
Right. Well, but listen. So the 9 spot in 2021 averaged 8 hits per game. And the reason I say 9 spot is because the pitchers only actually got usually 2 at bats before you start putting in pitch hitters. So they had 8 hits per game, which means that this year, with no pitchers in that spot, the league is averaging 3.6 more hits per night spread across those 15 teams. That's 0.24 extra hits per team.
Oh, wow.
Have you been noticing
and
those?
excitement?
Yeah. The OPS is up in that spot by about 150 points.
All right.
So
they're going to slug it. Yeah, they're going to slug it a little bit more than a pitcher who just can, get on sometimes.
Yeah, and the all-important and dreaded strikeout, because that's all we ever heard. Oh, pitchers don't do anything except for strikeout, and that's why we need the DH. Blah 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 blah. Well, that's down as well. Last year, the 9 spot had 1.3 strikeouts per game, and it's down to 0.9 strikeouts per game. So a huge drop. This 0.9 from 1.3. It's a drastic shift. Walks are also
it is kind of, it's like 50% less.
Wow.
If you look at it that way.
No, it's like 30% less. I don't know.
John
Math
Pincus
is not our strong suit over here.
John Pincus, you still watching? Figure out how much less that is.
But walks are also up from 0.23 walks to 0.27 walks per game, per team. So,
0.4.
Yeah.
Well, walk is boring anyway.
0.04.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. In terms of full league numbers, the NL is actually leading the AL in number of hits this year with 200 more hits so far. And I think 100 of those have been home runs because the AL trails the NL by 100 home runs.
Wow. Like
over the whole league, every position. And the NL leads the AL by 15 points in OPS as well. So, over how many ever years, and I've talked about this ad nauseum about, what the numbers really are. The numbers were actually very close between the NL and the AL. And right now, and the AL was always just a touch above the NL. And right now, the NL is now made, because they have the DH, they've made this leap to where
they're much better.
They might be much better than the AL, which is the way it was back in the 70s when the fucking AL wanted this shit in order to catch up. And then
now they're gonna have to have 2 DHs in the AL.
Yeah, I know, right?
We're like,
I'm telling you,
DH for the catcher. David Elliott writes in, I was told there would be no math on this show. Don't worry.
You could barely call it math.
Yeah, this
truth.
is not very mathish.
So
Pincus, great minds. He says, now let's go catcher DH in the AL just to fuck with Cotton.
So the 3 true outcomes, this is how it's working in both leagues, and about the whole DH thing. In both leagues, the DH position is the 4th best hitter on the team, right? But the DH does have the most homers and the most strikeouts by position in both leagues. The NL DH has the highest number of walks, and the AL DH is second in the number of walks. And then with all of that, everything I've just told you, the offense in the National League is down from 4.6 runs per game to 4.4 runs per game this year.
Just in the NL, it's down.
Right, because they're the only ones that have a difference.
So they're hitting more home runs, but runs are down. Yeah. I blame that all on the Cubs running outside the base.
They're hitting more home runs in that 9 spot, but not overall, because now they can have shittier players across the lineup.
The whole lineup, yeah, they could just
the whole lineup.
How Zach McKinstry got a job? Let me tell you.
and I didn't look into this, but I've looked into it in the past. Generally, 4 or 5, maybe even 6 spots in the AL had lower batting averages than the same spots in the NL. And that's not counting the 9 spot because that was the pitcher, right? So, that's, it's not
everything
it was cracked up to be, But now, I mean,
It is
AL
more.
assholes, you all,
You
talking
wanted
your
it.
shit.
Yeah.
Now you're going to get it. And it looks like it's working out for the NL a bit better than the AL this year.
Well, thanks for looking all into that. It is an interesting thing to follow, and I believe that we're probably the only ones that are following that. And it's not we; it's you.
I'm the only person
Yeah,
in the world that's still
That's
pissed off about the DH.
You're like, maybe 10 years from now, it's like, if the DH has not worked out at all, it's like, dude, the ship has sailed. So, I did a couple notes to bring up before we just get into the Cardinals preview. I'm not gonna leave a lot for the Cardinals preview because it's just we just faced them and like Jesus Christ, and now this is the last time we're gonna see him. But I did enjoy this an article that I read from I guess it's thewindycity.com, and they put together a couple of trade proposals for Ohtani.
Oh, okay.
Because there was a report that kind of got out there that like the Cubs they would not be surprised. Somebody went on the radio. I forget, was it Heyman or something like that?
Yeah, it was some fucking national big shot. And I loved Gordon's take on Cubs talk. And he's like, it was lazy. He's like, he's in Chicago. So of course he said Ohtani might go to Chicago. Like,
go to Chicago, yeah.
He's just pandering to the fucking audience. Like, I loved it. Gordon is always so on these
He knows
things.
what's up, yeah.
But that argument that they had, I am 100% on Kaplan's side. Like, it drives me nuts when, people will just explain to you why it's not going to happen because of the Ricketts. We know that.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we shouldn't tell the Ricketts they're fucking full of shit and they need to do this.
Yeah.
Which is what Kaplan was doing, because Kaplan's a Cubs fan. He's like, no, fucking get it done.
And Gordo was being the devil's advocate on it.
Yeah,
and the devil meaning the Ricketts. Like, he was the Ricketts mouthpiece and pretending he was that. Gordon doesn't feel this way, but he was saying, no, they're not going to take this kind of risk. They are a risk-averse team, which I completely agree with him on, that they're not going to do this, but they should do it.
Yeah. And this was a funny argument because Kaplan and Gordon flip-flopped their positions, because the whole time Gordo has just been all over like, fuck these Ricketts. They need to spend all their money. They need to do all this shit. And Kaplan's over there like, hey, there was, biblical losses and shit and blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden in this one episode, it's the other way around. Yeah. It was funny.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's because there's a nuanced view of it in which there's what the Cubs, John Morosi, thank you, David, is the one who said it. So, but there's a couple of trade proposals floated out there. Now, this is the real brass tacks, because you will be decimating your farm system for maybe the best player ever to play baseball. So do with that what you will. It does give the Cubs holes to fill, but here's a couple from that article that I was just talking about from the Windy City. Cubs get Shohei Ohtani. Angels get Brennan Davis, Kevin Alcantara, Jordan Wicks, and Cade Horton. I think that's a non-starter. I don't know why the Angels would do this. Like, I don't. It's not enough.
No, yeah, I don't think so either. I think any package that doesn't have Justin Steele in it isn't going to get looked at.
Then we got this one, which is Cubs get Ohtani, Angels get Horner, Pete Crow Armstrong, Brennan Davis, Ian Happ, and Cole Franklin. I mean, now you're getting some position players. But Ian Happ's in the last year of his contract. Like, why would they do that? I mean, he's a rental at that point. Brennan Davis and Pete Crow Armstrong and Nico Horner are pretty much.
And Cole Franklin. Those are, I mean, that's where it's at. And I mean, I guess Ian Happ is just there for, I don't know, icing. Ian Happ's there because Hoyer just doesn't like him and wants to get rid of him.
Exactly. So then there's this one, which is, I think, a little slim too, which is Ohtani for Pete Crow Armstrong, Nick Madrigal, Caleb Killian, and Miguel Amaya. So
yeah, I don't see that at all. Miguel Amaya has never played a above like single A yet, has he? He's
I
always
mean,
been
he
hurt.
just came back, and I'm actually curious. So, thanks. Chime in the chat if you want to. Dominic says, "Don't crush the farm system for Otani." I mean, I get that thinking, I do, but also I'm not a prospect pervert. And do I want to see Otani in a Cubs uniform? Yeah, I don't care about the prospects. I don't care. Sign all the great players. Get Wilson back. Get Otani, and sign a top line pitcher.
You've
Who's
got
available?
all the money in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it.
I don't care. I don't care if Pete Crow Armstrong never plays for the Cubs. I'm not going to cry about that.
Well,
if Otani is playing for the Cubs, I'm certainly not going to cry about it. If Pete Crow Armstrong gets traded for some bullshit, then yes, I'll be pissed.
Here's the thing. These guys are doing amazing in minor league ball. Great. I'm happy to see it. And if at some point they come up and they're with the Cubs, it's going to be fun to see what they do. But that may never happen, people. It may never happen. Or they could be McKinstry.
Well,
who hit the shit out of the ball in AAA and then comes up to the major leagues and he's hitting 190.
And here's the other thing about it. The entire situation. Otani's 27 years old. This would be a trade and sign. This is not like a done deal that, like, you would have to know that you had the plan in place.
Yes.
To make that trade. Otherwise, there's no reason to do it. Like, this could be a rental for somebody. Like, and nobody's going to give up that much just.
No, you have to already know that Otani is there. Now, Otani was very strongly linked to the Cubs back when he was coming around, but of course he chose a California team, plus they had the DH, which he wanted to be able to pitch in DH. And now that's not a concern. Plus we have Seiya Suzuki, which, not for nothing, they're both Japanese, right? Like,
yeah,
I'm not always, up on everything, but yeah, I thought that. Then you got somebody on your team that maybe doesn't have now, that you can talk to, and maybe he talks to him and says like, yeah, come here,
Well, I would imagine it's pretty
together.
lonely. I don't know how great Seiya's English is, but it's not his first language. And so, just having that
generally
can be tough.
Japanese players talk to the Dominican players because they can all speak Spanish better than they can speak English.
Spanish, I mean, I found it easier to learn than I probably find Spanish easier to learn than English or Japanese. So
yeah. So
anyway,
I mean, I can see it happening. I just don't know if the Cubs are going to spend for it. And I don't mind if you think that's going to decimate our farm system, because we just don't know what is coming out of there.
Yeah.
And if they're this good, it seems like these guys are running through the farm system right now, doesn't it, Danny?
It presents, and I was going to put it in the notes today, but I didn't because I was a pretty full shot. I mean, we're at an hour and a half. We're not even our second break, but that's okay. Well, I'm kind of stalling for Crawley because he wants to come on and play a little show and tell. I know nobody minds if you guys want to hang up, you can and watch later anyhow. But no, we're going full War and Peace tonight, I think.
Oh no! But
no, I'm kidding. We'll keep it to a dull roar. But now I lost my train of thought.
We were talking about the prospects and burning the prospects, and then I asked you about how quickly they're all coming up, and then you
the roster crunch thing. Yeah, I mean, because you got all these dudes that you kind of want to protect on your 40 man, and you kind of don't know what you have. So we're doing fall training now, but if you can't keep everybody on the 40 man, they just put Jeremiah Estrada on the 40 man, so he's going to take up a spot. You move Wade Miley to the 60-day IL, and then so you're just going to keep. I mean, we don't know. Nick Madrigal, like, you got dudes with options. You guys do, so it's all these roster decisions that might not be made based upon when they're in their contracts, as opposed to whether they deserve to be on a Major League Baseball team. So that's the thing. And you can't keep them all. You can't just keep all your prospects and just hoard prospects. You'll have the best AAA team in the series. You'll win all the minor league awards because you'll just be stocking all these like great players. And that's all fine and good. But unless it's transferring at the major league level and they make the right decisions in that and start the clocks in the right time with some of these guys, they're kind of up against it. They kind of have to trade a prospect or two at some point.
Yeah, at some point. And they can't keep doing this shit where they're like, oh, we'll give you 2 guys for Ohtani because they have to win the fucking trade,
Mm.
And look,
They're always cheap. They're always looking for the deal.
Yeah, and I'm with
Scrappy.
everybody, all the prospect perverts. I'm with you. If we're going to get 1 year of Ohtani, don't do it. But if you know that Ohtani is going to be with the Cubs for 5 years, that's what it would take to sway me, So the next year and then a 4-year contract, I'd be all in. Like, yeah, go for it. That's like Danny said, best player maybe ever.
Maybe ever. Yeah, he's literally Babe Ruth on acid. Like he's incredible. So it is let's time for another contest. Let's do another contest. Maybe we'll wake back up. So Amazon contest. This is for the people that use our link at sunranto.com/Amazon. And what you can do is just fill up your card on Amazon, then go to sunranto.com/Amazon, click on one of our Amazon things, and then check out, and we'll get a little credit.
Hey, congratulations to somebody out there with the Garden of Life prenatal vitamins.
Yeah, somebody that's number 12 on your list. And then somebody got some vitamin C for their face. A lot of baby things. So yeah, somebody's having a baby or just had a baby.
Oh, Sunranto t-shirt.
Yeah, somebody bought a Sunranto t-shirt, which that's nice of them to advertise for us. There's something I bought, that USB-C hub. That's from me.
Oh, there's the sun flask.
Yeah, and somebody bought the sun flask. Congratulations. That wasn't me. I already have one. So you got dog bones, and you could see, I think my computer's on here somewhere. There it is, the 2021 Apple MacBook Pro. That's the computer I'm currently on. So I did shop through our link. So anyway, here we go. There's 48. There's 48 contestants. So I'm going to put up the wheel of numbers here, and we will see who wins the Amazon shopper. I don't have a good name for this one. Amazon shopper of the month. Like, I hate that name. Like, what am I supposed to say here? Somebody think of a name for me. So
the top consumer.
Yeah, the top Bezos blower. So 1 through 48 on the wheel.
Bezos blower.
Just got that. We're spinning it.
I do like the noise.
Number 1. Wow.
Number 1.
Congratulations, number 1. Let's figure out what that was. I'm going to have to bring up this one. It is the people who bought the 10-inch paper plates, dinner-sized, printed and disposable.
Well, so you know what? It's a holiday weekend. You got to get your paper plates because you're having people over for that barbecue,
Exactly. So buy them through our links. Why not? $27 in there this month. Pretty excited about it. Let's get a buy it.
Bernie Behrens' Amazon Appreciation Awards.
The Amazon Appreciation number 1. And what you did win right there was some Bleacher Bum Band shot glasses coming your way. So all you got to do is contact me, sunranto@gmail.com, SONRANTO, and let me know that you purchased those plates. They're not the pilfered plates, but they are printed plates. So there's more piece for you. So congratulations to you, though. The other thing I wanted to bring up here is that sometimes we I didn't mean to do that. Sometimes we do the good, the bad, and the ugly about Cubs gear, and I drop a link in the chat. I want to bring this jacket to everybody's attention that is on sale, I believe, just till the end of the night. something like that. Like they're having a sale right now. There's free shipping at Fans Edge, which is the same as Fanatics, which is the same as MLB. They're all the same shit. So we have it at sunranto.com/shopping. There's another situation we have. But what I'm putting up on the screen here for the podcast listeners is a pretty sharp looking it's a windbreaker jacket. Looks like it's
No, it looks like a Letterman jacket. Looks like because it's got the different colored sleeves,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it looks really nice. And it's got the 2016 World Series patch on the sleeve. And then on the back, it says 3 times World Series champion. And I'm like, why would you? And John Pickus also earlier on Facebook pointed out to me that I'm trying to see if this is leather. It's a full snap jacket. It's not leather. Looks like maybe more like it's not windbreaker material kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the sale ends. It's right now. It's $90 right now, and it's a sharp looking jacket for what it is. But my issue with it is, why would you advertise the fact that you've only won the World Series 3 times since 1902 or 3 or whatever year was the first year?
In I believe 2015 or 16, when I was at Coors Field, I saw a Cubs fan wearing a 2-time World Series champion jacket.
No, that's just funny. 3 times it makes me think that you're like thinking it's cool, but it's not cool. You know what I mean? It's like, 3 times, bitches, 3 rings, count them on one hand, baby. You know what I mean? Like you got the Cardinals screaming out 11, you got the 12 after this year, of course, and then next the Yankees with their 58 rings or whatever they have,
27, I think.
27.
God damn, that's a lot.
Yeah. I don't even know what that feels like. So anyway, buy that jacket. I dropped the link in the chat. And if you do buy that jacket, let me know. Bernie says, I don't like the 3 times in the back. It looks like a size. 3X. I'm a triple XL World Series champion.
Yep.
So we're also going to do before we get to the Cardinals, we're not going to do the preview of the Cardinals with how their offense and defense is, but we will. I do want to remind everybody, we're not going to play a commercial here either right now, but I do want to remind everybody, use sunranto.com/shopping, and there's your commercial right there. So how about little rakes and flakes, throws and blows for the Cubs, who actually managed to go 500 in the month of August?
Yeah. So I looked at
rake.
Well, this is going to be different, right? It's not going to be a normal rakes, flakes, throws and blows. I'm not doing the throws and blows at all because the pitching situation has just been insane, in flux. I don't think you can really tell a lot about any pitcher over this last month with everything that's been going on and people going in and out. But for the hits, I took anybody who had at least 70 plate appearances, which was about 20 games or more, and that was 7 guys. So instead of the rakes and flakes, I'm giving you the best and worst of kind of the main stats. So hits, Hap had the most hits with 30 hits this month, and Morel was the worst with 13. So not very good. Homers, Contreras had 7 home runs this month, and Madrigal had 0. Not surprising.
Yeah, he doesn't hit home runs anyway.
Yeah. Walks, Seiya had 10, and Morel had 1. So Morel comes up on the back end of these a lot.
Not a great, he really fell off. So
yeah, he struggled this month. Strikeouts, Madrigal only had 7 strikeouts this month, and Hap had 32. Wow. 32 strikeouts to lead. So, but that's like a homer per strikeout almost. So I guess you take it.
Yeah.
batting average.
Change his swing back. He's like, fuck this spraying the field, the ball around the field. I'm going to hit dongs.
Madrigal hit 300 this month.
Okay.
And Morel hit 183, which is why he was struggling so much. And then OPS, Hap has an 882 OPS to lead the team, and Morel has a 574. So
Yeah,
that's it. I just kind of went through the main sort of things to just get an idea of who had a good month and who had a bad month.
Well, the Cubs overall had an average month, and going 500, you'll take it at this with this team. It's the best we've done all year. So does it give me massive amounts of hope? No. But like for the future, like people are like, it's 2014. I'm like, it's not. Like 2014 had guys like, that were they signed John Lester in that offseason.
Right.
So they have to do something like that for it to be 2015 next year. So they got money to spend. We'll see what happens. But I changed my mind. I am going to play a quick commercial, and then we'll come right back because I have to pee. So,
yeah, I was going to say, which means he has to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be right back in literally 1 minute. I'll play the swag commercial. We haven't played that one in a while.
Ooh, swag.
Sexy. It's after Sun Ranto After Dark.
Do you like having sex? Me too. That's why I always wear my Sunranto swag shirts every time I'm looking to get some. It's the only t-shirt guaranteed to get you laid. Knock boots in your shankless shirt. Bump uglies in a ranter long sleeve. Ride the skin-busted Tuna Town in a Dabbing Cubes fan shirt. Take gold one-eye to the optometrist in your bull penis awesome attire, or smash pissers in a Spagog shirt. Sunranto swag shirts are just like people. There are many different sizes and colors to choose from. Plus, at Sunranto's swag store, you'll find vintage John Baker Day, designated hater, and Matt Cameron drawn rally titty designs on everything from shirts and hoodies to baby onesies, bags, and hats. Go to sunranto.com/swag and check out all the sexy styles guaranteed to get you laid. You'll be stuffing the soft taco in no time. Sunranto.com/swag, guaranteed to get you laid.
Wearing Sunranto swag products not guaranteed to get you laid. Sunranto swag is not responsible for your sex life. Sunranto swag is for entertainment purposes only.
And I am back. Michael did not quite make it.
How did you get that? I can't believe you got back before me. That was pretty impressive. We were really riding a tightrope there because that could have ended and we would have both been gone.
We would have both been gone. People would have been left to do their own show. We got Crawley here. Crawley, let's just bring him in. Perfect timing. Crawley!
What's going on, boys?
How you doing? Good to see you, man. I was stalling this entire show. Yeah, I was really trying to draw out the Cubs talk, go a little longer just to make sure that you could get on here and let us know about your new prized possession.
Well, yeah, but you told me at 8 o'clock, you said we're going live, and I'm like, well, I'll probably be there around 9:30 to 10 o'clock, and then I don't know if we'll probably be done in an hour and a half.
Yeah, we'll see.
The Sun Ranto show gone an hour and a half.
Exactly.
My ass.
To be fair, I believe it was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we did one that was an hour and a half.
There was one. It was an hour 32.
Did somebody's internet go out, or what happened?
No, we talked a lot about the sex in the stands. We got off a few rails here and there, but we haven't even gotten to the Cardinals series yet. So, you came right in time to talk about the Dirty Birds. But no, I wanted to have you on because I saw your post on Facebook today about the Montero jersey that is now finally back from the framers. You just got it back. And, for those that don't know, why don't you just tell the story and just tell us what you want to show us tonight?
Yeah, obviously the Cubs win the World Series November 2nd, 2016. They announced a ring bearer ceremony, and in that ring bearer ceremony, they were going to pick 20 people to present a World Series ring to a player. Danny Rocket would mercilessly tease me every day to tell me how my video was going to lose. But I ended up winning. And so when we were backstage, or not backstage, under the right field bleachers, we were coming out the gates there. they gave you the jersey, and that jersey was who you were going to present to. So mine said Ring Bearer 47. And what ended up happening is that I had that jersey and I had Miggy sign it. But our mutual friend, Stu McVicker from Club 400, someone tipped him off that the game used Montero from the ring ceremony game was on sale. And so out of the kindness of
On
the heart,
sale. It was for
for
sale.
sale.
Yeah.
It's been a long day. But what ends up happening is with the Club 400 and the Sun Ranto Ranters and the Cubs memorabilia group, everyone just kind of chipped in the hat, and now the Montero jersey is home. Out of the 20 jerseys that were 20 rings that were presented that day, this is the only jersey right now that's with its pair. So the Montero with the ring jersey I have, it's the only one that exists. Jason Ketchuk did the framing from Catch 22. So if anyone needs anything framed, he's the guy that's going to do that. But none of this happens without all the great groups that I mentioned and the generosity of the Ranters and Club 400 and the Cubs memorabilia group. My wife was extremely helpful. Shannon, who was helping kind of guide this whole thing. And it's great. So if you take that down, I'll walk you over.
Well, okay, cool. And I'm just like, I'm zooming in on it right now, just on my computer screen. And I see that you've got the two photos, one of you shaking Miggy's hand, the other one of you with Miggy. I'm just going to, and then you got two tickets framed in here too. I assume that's from the game.
Yeah, that's from the game. The Cubs gave me seats, but I also had my own season tickets. So my wife, my kids, my parents all went to the game. And so I had my 2 seats. They gave us 2 seats. And then we had another 2 seats that a friend that we bought them off of. And so
And it's Montero on the ticket.
I think it's Wilson.
Oh, it's Wilson. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering because I could see it's a catcher. I just can't tell who it is.
Yeah, it's Wilson on the ticket. So here, take that thing down. I'll show you.
Well, and it's a beautiful frame, and the blue matting around the outside has the Cubs logo in the upper corners and stuff. Looks really nice.
Yeah, and then there's the World Series champions logo plus the World Series trophy there, and there's your lovely wife right there.
There she is. And so if you look, if you look right here, this is the pedestal. So when we went out there, the jersey was on the pedestal. So Jason kind of came up with that idea. Thought it was pretty cool to kind of have that in the middle. This is me and Miggy, and that's signed by Miggy right there. 20 World Series ring ceremony, 4/12/2017. There's the jersey from the game. It's the second game of 2017 against the Dodgers. He put this up here. One of the really good ideas he had was rather than do red, which is what is normally kind of on these Cubs right here, the blue and red.
Right.
He said, let's go gold, and it really just pops.
Well, yeah, that's great because the gold and the World Series jersey, it works perfectly. Yeah, that's
the jersey the Cubs gave me. It says ring bearer right here. It's Miggy signed, and it says 2016 WS champs. There's a picture of me right there giving him his ring signed by Miggy. The other the other ticket. And then if you look here, this is the Montero. It says 2017 game used ring ceremony with the date, and that's authenticated by Schwartz Sports. So definitely a cool piece. It's like I said, I always told you if there was one thing I'd have to save from my burning house, it'd be this. But I think I'm going to need help if it's really burning. It's going to take 2 people.
Well, I'm seeing I'm looking around what your fan cave that's about ready to go. When's the party? That's when I need to know.
I'm working at it, man. We're working quick. The next thing
it looks good enough. You got a guitar back there. You got the ring thing up. Like
drum set.
You got a drum set. You got some taps. Like, what more do we need? Like, invite us over for the party. You got the Bleacher Bum Band poster. You got the window done. Like, dude, it's looking great. Let's come over.
Here, everyone's ready. It's
the bar's done.
Yeah, bar's all ready over here. Got some bobbleheads, a couple of them.
A couple thousand. That's like how many?
How hard do you have to shake it to get all those heads bobbling?
I don't know, man. That's what I think the Bleacher Bum Band's going to try to figure out. But
we'll just get that couple from Toronto to do it on your shelves on the top. It'll be fine. It'll be bobbling in no time. Everything will be bobbling.
They had to be some young kids because I don't think they had any padding or cushioning, man. That was just straight on concrete.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, you're feeling other things at that time. Sometimes the endorphins can take over. You don't feel other kinds of pain. Besides, it could have been drunk.
Yeah, and I heard it happened in Oakland too, and they got pictures of the people that they think did it. It happened in Oakland the other day too.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about it on the show earlier tonight.
I think love is in the air, man. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there're going to be a lot of what would it be? May babies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what it would be? Something like that? Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
That's
And
9 months.
when they grow up, they're gonna be like, yeah, well, what happened was my parents' favorite baseball team was terrible. So they had sex in the stands.
Yeah, David says needs Son Ranto live in Crawley's basement. Totally agree. We're doing
Yep.
a live show. We're coming in there. Bleacher Bum Band's playing. We're all gonna party. We're gonna get drunk and ruin all your crap.
Have like one day to enjoy it, not even. Yeah.
Hope you got insurance, my friend.
Oh, geez, yeah. It's yeah. I'm sitting there. I still gotta get the first keg tapped. I've been waiting. Got the kegerator right here. So you got the 2 taps. This is gonna be Club 400 right here, and even though it says old style, it's gonna be Cubby Gummy right here. And then
What's Cubby Gummy?
it's a New England IPA from Noon Whistle.
Oh, I haven't had that.
Oh, it's so good. It's such a delicious beer. But not everybody likes the microbrews. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't really, but
Oh,
but
I
I
love 'em.
but I will try some of it there and then throw it up on your carpet. That's really my
Danny, there's a
plan.
reason we didn't get carpet here.
Yeah, good move, by the way. Like carpet, maybe a rug, like a Cubs rug somewhere, like under the drum set, to keep it from moving. Look at that! You have exactly that going on. Look, see, all the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted. Invite us over. That's what I'm saying to you.
There
The
you
Cubs
go.
rug is down. The
See, one day you guys are gonna get super big, and you're gonna have your own little Foo Fighter type bobbleheads.
Oh, nice! I'll replace Dave Grohl. I like it.
No, you got this for me, Danny, right there.
Yeah, that's the Eddie Vedder pick given to me by John Baker and then bestowed upon you.
Yeah, it's here along with a wristband and a couple other Cubs Eddie Vedder stuff. So we're jamming out here. It's getting there. It's honestly, I tell Stuart, because Stuart's man cave is ridiculous, but I'm like, God Almighty, man, I can't even imagine what you had to go through because it's just a monumental undertaking. Like the process, it's like you think about like I've been collecting for close to 30 years. You know what I mean? And it's just like you accumulate so much shit. And all of a sudden it's kind of like, okay, now we're actually going to do this. And now it's kind of, you're getting there, but it's a process.
Yeah.
Terry E says in the chat, I thought Cubby Gummy is what the dude in the Rogers Center was getting.
She didn't look that old.
Nice. Yeah, a little Cubby Gummy. It's my drink of choice anytime at Lucky Doors. And, I don't mind the other Cubby Gummy either, I guess.
Well, it's looking great, dude, and congrats on getting that back from the framer. And what's the framer's name again? I think you put it in the put up that picture again so people.
Yeah, his name's
see.
Jason Ketchuk, and his company's called Catch 22 out of Hoffman Estates.
That's KECH 22.
Yep.
KECHIK, Jason Ketchuk. So if you want to look that up, if you need something framed, because he really did do an awesome job with that. And anyway, congrats, man. I know you've had a long day. I told you I wouldn't keep you too long. So I saw that post and I was like, I know that we had been following that and we're all involved in that a year ago. So it's kind of nice to see that what happened next, which is this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
cool.
You just walk in and it's such a piece that just kind of, it sounds like Big Lebowski. It ties the room together.
Yeah.
Let's hope nobody pisses on it.
By the way, it's a little crooked. You gotta get
Don't even go there. Don't my wife, man? My wife is by the millimeter. She's got that thing 100% accurate.
I can tell. No, I can tell from here. It's a little off. You just gotta you maybe just move it 1 more inch towards the ceiling. I think would be a little bit better too.
Yeah, we got the monster level and everything here. No, this was done. You don't work with an IT specialist and get something crooked. It doesn't happen.
Well, beautiful. It's awesome, dude. Well, enjoy it, and we'll see you tomorrow when I come and see it in person and get drunk on Cubby Gummy.
Cubby
Yeah.
gummy. All right, spagard, boys.
All right. See you later, man. Dude, that's fucking awesome. All right. So
I think that's the name of the show is Cubby Gummy.
Oh, definitely. Let me write that down. We always say things like that, and I never write it down. And then I'm like, oh, I'll remember. No, I won't. Cubby Gummy. That actually might get some clicks. So, all right, we're going to play the Cardinals. And, but I thought real quick, let's just take a look at, there's a month left of the season. Let's just take a look at what's going to happen. We got the Cardinals on the road. Then we got the Reds and the Giants at home. Neither one of those teams are in contention. Then we go and play the Mets in New York.
Yeah.
12th, 13th, and 14th of September. That should be interesting just to see how we stack up against that team. They've got a lot of cool stuff. You see that dude playing the trumpet, Timmy Trumpet or whatever, and Edwin Diaz coming out. Like, so much fun. Like, that
Dude,
team,
that was awesome. I thought that was great. But then I went on to find out more about Timmy Trumpet, and he's just a DJ that sometimes plays a trumpet.
Yeah, and I guess he doesn't even like baseball. I read that. I read that too. He's like not a fan. So, and then we come back home. Now this is weird. This is another stupid way that the schedule works. Just to, I don't know. I don't know why I have to always remind people how terrible everything is, but I do. They go to New York. Then they have an off day. They come home and play the Rockies, and then they go back east.
Yeah,
they come
then
home
they go
for
to
3
Miami.
days, and then they go to Miami. They were like, do you know how many flights there are from New York to Miami? Basically, all the flights from Miami are to New York. Like, it's like there's, oh man, like everybody from New York lives in Miami.
You could have gone Miami to New York and then to Pittsburgh and back home, and it would have been a nice little loop.
No, can't do it. So they go to
because you got to play the
Miami,
Rockies.
They go to Pittsburgh, then they come home and play Philly for 3. At least there's a day game on a Thursday. Like, I love a good getaway day game on a Thursday, especially towards the end of the season. Hopefully it won't be raining. Then we finish all 6 with the Reds. We got the September 30th, October 1st and 2nd with the Reds, and then we go to Cincinnati and make up what was supposed to be the first series of the year against Cincinnati, but
it's going to be like
postponed.
How they've been doing the minor leagues, where the teams go and just play each other for a week. They play like 7 games in a row or something.
I mean, maybe that's, I kind of just hate how it's all. I mean, that was an unscheduled Reds thing happening.
Right.
But we've been doing that, like we're doing it right now. We just played the Cardinals, and now we're going to play the Cardinals again. Next year, the schedule's even worse. We're done with the Cardinals by this point of the year. Way done. We're done with them in July. No more Cardinals after July next year. Like, what are we doing? So the weather down there is going to be hot. It's going to be hot. 89. Well, at night it'll be nicer, 66. 91 on Saturday. And then 89 on Sunday for the day.
It's right on the river, though. It's going to be muggy, man.
Yeah, it's going to feel like it's 112. It's going to feel awful out there. So, in game 1, we've seen all these pitchers. We just saw these guys. We just saw them. That's game 3. Game 1 is Adrian Sampson, who's 1-4 versus Jordan Montgomery, who's 7-3 with a 328. I know, right?
Jordan, wait, was this the same matchup? It wasn't the same matchup, but
no, he went.
But Sampson was terrible, and Montgomery was brutal on us.
Yeah, Montgomery pitched to Maddox, and Morel got the only Maddox one hitter, and Morel got the only hit. Like, probably his only hit of the month was against.
I know. He was like the worst average, the least amount of hits, everything. And he's the one guy that kept him from getting no hit.
Yeah. Sampson, if you remember, the Cards hit him real hard, and he gave up 5 through 3 against them, 3.1 against them. Last time against Milwaukee, remember they took him out early because he wasn't vaccinated. They wanted the extra pitcher.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So,
when he actually could have maybe pitched a few more innings and possibly done better. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was. This is a mess.
Now his arm is rested, and whatever. That he's pitching.
Whatever.
Game two, yeah, exactly. I'm at the like whatever point of the not only
Yep.
the show but the season. Game two, Drew Smiley, who was unfortunately the recipient of Jordan Montgomery's Maddox that night and took the loss when he gave
Even
up
though he pitched a great 7 innings himself.
yeah, he gave up the basket shot to Pujols, which would have only been a home run in Wrigley Field while Pujols is on steroids.
Right.
Yeah, he was great. Smiley was great. He gave up no runs on 5 hits against the Brewers last time, so he was great that time too. And I hope we can exercise this nebulous mutual option on his contract because it'd be great to have him next year.
Yeah, I could. The way that he's finally come around, you could see wanting him. Unfortunately, he also knows that the fact that he's just come around is going to, raise his price on the free market.
On the option.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an option.
Well, but it's a dual option, and
Right.
so the money's already set. He can't negotiate the money. So if he goes on the open market, I think he might make more. And so it's almost impossible for them to get him to sign, I think.
I don't know. Maybe he just really likes being a Cub. Adam Wainwright really likes being a Cardinal. He's going out there for the Cardinals, although he's getting paid a lot more than Smiley is.
Remember when they honored Pujols and Yachty and fucking didn't say a word to Wainwright?
Well, that's because Wainwright's still fucking pitching
guy.
on his fucking face. Wainwright is 9-9, but whatever about records. He's got a 309 earned run average. The guy's 55 years old. So
Exactly.
we got 2 runs off on 5 hits off of him last time, but we've gotten a total of 4 runs in 20 innings pitched over 3 games against him this year. So,
Yeah.
and the last time he went out there, he only gave up 2 runs against Atlanta, which is quite a good team. They're right there with the Mets, and 6.2 innings he went against Atlanta. Ian Happ, though, kind of owns him. 4 home runs against him. So, and batting .310 as well. Slugging .793. Wilson, I don't know how his foot is, but if he's back, he's got a couple of dongs against Waino as well.
So apparently Terry E says in the chat that Adam Wainwright has a new country song out.
Ooh.
Right now.
Well, we'll have to.
I did not know that.
Well, we'll have to check that out as soon
We'll
as
have to
this
bring
is
it on the
over.
next show and get thrown off of YouTube.
So game 3, Stroman, Michaelis, 3-6 with a 398 for Stroh.
That looks
Michaelis
like that mustache just looks like a sort of a long turd in
Yeah.
the toilet.
looks like Mr. Hanky.
It does. He's
Michaelis
got
is
Mr. Hanky under his nose.
Michaelis is 10-10 with a 348. It's Prairie Farms ice cream day. So if you're going to this game, I think you can get free ice cream. So look that up.
It probably only you probably only get like a virtual like coupon so
for
that you
an
can
ice
go.
cream that you could have in a virtual world.
Yeah, something
As long
like
as
that.
they don't have to pay. So Stroman, I'm going to remind everybody how god awful he is against the Cardinals.
Oh God, I forgot about that. Yes. Why'd you remind us?
I put up the numbers so everybody watching can see it. But this is a day game. It's going to be hot. Okay. Last time Stroh went up there, I'm saying take the over. Last time Stroh went up there, he gave up 5 runs on 11 hits through 5. And he also gave up 9 through 4 innings and 3 through 5.2 as well. And those are the 3 games against the Cardinals. And he pitched okay against the Blue Jays. We already talked about that a little bit. Michaelis, we got 5 runs, but only 3 were earned through 6.2 last time. That was last week at Wrigley. Since he knocked him around the last time he went out there, knocked him out in the 5th anyway, and they got 4 runs. And but look at Stroman's Cardinals numbers against Stroh. It is terrible.
Quit showing it.
Oh my God.
You're a
awful.
glutton for punishment here.
Yeah. I mean, Corey Dickerson has 3 dongs off of him. He's batting .432. He's got a 444 OBP and a 750 slugging. Goldschmidt's got 3 home runs off of him, batting 467. Got an OPS of 1.689.
Yeah.
Tommy Edmond is even 5 for freaking 12. Pujols is 5 for 14, batting 357. I mean, overall, the Cardinal Lars Nootbaar is 3 for 7 even.
Fucking
Overall. Overall, 176 plate
Hey,
appearances.
let's look at Paul DeJong though. Paul DeJong has 1 hit in 9 at bats.
Yeah, Paul DeJong and Dylan Carlson are the only guys really. Oh, and Tyler O'Neill can't really do anything.
Dylan Carlson has a 236 OPS in 9 plate appearances.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But listen, overall, this is awful. They can't wait till Sunday. The Cardinals, our only chance at winning any of these games is if the Cardinals are looking past Friday and Saturday to get to Sunday, because they're just salivating like a dog over a steak. Because here's what they're in: 176 plate appearances, batting average 346, OBP 364, slugging 570 for an overall OPS of 933 as a team. Not good.
I mean, no.
We do okay against Michaelis, McKinstry, and Wilson have homers, but it's nothing like what the Cardinals do against them.
Right. And unfortunately, the Cardinals are 6 games ahead of Milwaukee right now.
Yeah.
And
they're gonna win the division.
Fucking Cardinals, man.
Yeah.
I really and then they're gonna get when they steal Wilson from us, they're not gonna have to give up the pick because they're gonna somehow be taking money from the other teams, something like that. Yeah. That's part of the new, collective bargaining to ease up on the, when you offer the qualifying offer. God damn it. Terrible with words. Qualifying offer.
We are moving into hour 3 at this point. Yeah. So,
and you get that, the pick that comes with it, but not every team will have to do that if they aren't making enough money. So the Cardinals are one of those teams that claim they're in a small market.
Yeah. And they are. St. Louis is actually not a big market. They're actually right about that. Like, that's why it would be nice if the Cubs acted like a small market team, like the St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah. At the very least, act like a small market team, Cubs. It would be really nice. Like, they've got some of the best players in baseball. They were even in on the Juan Soto thing, So a couple of announcements real quick. Riverside Hop Stop is where the Bleacher Bum Band is playing next. That's a beer festival. I'm dropping the link in the chat. You can find it at riversidehopstop.com. And we'll be playing over there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're also going to be
this weekend?
No, the September 24th. Sorry.
September 24th.
Yeah. And then I think we're going to be throwing a party. It's not confirmed yet, but October 1st at Nisei Lounge. We're doing that with the Bleacher Bum Band, and we're hoping to have karaoke. We're working out those details right now. And I wanted to also announce that people that know about our Facebook group, the Mike Leonard Condolences jersey, which is just kind of a Cubs fan group where we do something nice for each other when somebody dies, and we raise money and just kind of do something in the memory of that person, something that's kind of like appropriate to their life and honors their legacy, but also like brings us closer together as a Cub fan family. So I put something up there. Carl Craddock, a close friend of mine, also a member of that group before, and a son Ranto ranter. He has actually lost both his parents within the last year or two. We actually already gave him a jersey for when his dad died. Yeah, so there will be no other jersey, but we will be in honor of both Sharon and Kurt Craddock, and I'm putting their picture up right there. We're going to be giving, man, I had it right here. Oh, yeah, it's to the Fierce Animal Rescue is what we're going to give to, I guess. And if you want to give to it more, that's great. The giving is closed as far as this jersey session goes, but we raised close to $400, and so we'll be giving some money to the Fierce Animal Rescue. And also the other death that we had is a ranter and friend Josh Oberheide, and he lost his father, Hal Oberheide. There's a picture of Hal. He's pretty young. He's only in his late 60s, and just way too young. Born in the, I think, 56 or something like that. And Josh said that we are going to get Josh a jersey. It's going to say, like, I don't know if I could fit all that he wanted on the jersey, so I got to go figure that out. So it just might be like OBJ or something like that. I forget. He sent me an email, but in that email, he also sent me a recording of his dad, who had the not well, this is going to get confusing, but Josh's dad, Hal, wrote a song for when Hal's dad, also named Hal, died. So he wrote a song and he recorded it, and Josh shared it with me, and I'm going to end the show with it today at the end of it. And it's Hal singing about his dad, Hal. So, but he does mention Hal Oberheide in the song. So it's like, he was almost like singing about himself. So it's very touching. I kind of like welled up when I heard it and stuff. And Josh had also asked that if any, and I really appreciate this, but Josh said that his dad, being an artist and a singer, and he loved theater and music, he said he would be honored to have his dad's memory be with a donation to Trapdoor Theater, which is my theater. And the conversation I had with Josh earlier, saying he was a musician and creative mind. He didn't have any groups or charities he followed. I know he'd be honored if Trapdoor got any extras. So that's really cool. And I told Josh that I've been installing a new sound system there. I didn't get all the way to raising enough money for that sound system, because it ended up costing like $850, and I only raised like $450. So I'm like, well, all right, well, put it towards that. And it came with this big unit, and I'm going to call the unit Hal. I'll even put a little sign on it or something, like I don't know how, but I'll put like duct tape, probably, knowing me. But
that was the evil robot in 2001.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, oh, it works perfectly. Human added loudness for the sound system.
I like it.
Is what I kind of came up with. So anyway, it's just kind of like, it's one of the reasons I like doing this show, and like being involved with you guys as people and what's going on in your life is really important to me. So anyhow, that I'm going to end the show with the Hal's song for his dad, and it won't be a Cubs song. So stick tuned and have a tear or something. Think about somebody you love. But first, hashtag chance in the chat. And also we got some TFCs, hashtag chance in the chat, and you could win the,
Danny was real good about bringing it down, bringing it into the somber. Now we're about to go into the nice song. Oh, but wait, let's do the chance, and then we're going to do some TFCs.
Yeah, exactly. We're not done yet. So, yeah, you might have to listen to this one in 3 parts. Like, we're not recording again till Monday morning, and I think Lyle might come on that show. So just you can eat this podcast in bite-sized portions
through the weekend.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, sorry. I guess I'll go first. So I forgot where we were. TFCs. All right, check this out. So Jeremiah Estrada, who we were talking about earlier, who was unvaccinated and then got vaccinated after he almost died, is thanking God. Said, "Dear," as we came up to the major leagues, and he said, "Dear Heavenly Father, ... we did it." Prayer sign, pointing up sign, heart sign, blue heart sign, blue sign. And then everybody liked it. But then, it's nice. Like, I'm not going to, he's a religious guy. Fine. That's fine. Even though God almost killed you with the disease, fine.
Right.
But Sports Pig Barbecue
great name.
Yes, we had to get in on this. And he says, "Amen." And then hands up To all glory goes the Father. And he had to share a meme. How to fix America with a flag. Put Jesus back in all the places you asked him to leave. Home, school, government, church, and your heart.
Wow.
Yeah, so
What
just-
church do you think he goes to that doesn't have Jesus in it? I mean, that was the one that really jumped out to me. It's like, wait, your church doesn't have Jesus in it?
I'm guessing that he's thinking about the Catholics. Because you know how they are about Catholics. Those idolaters with their smoke and their robes and their witchcraft. That's what they think.
God,
But we
insane
won't.
people.
We'll get that into that on hour 3.
Yeah. Okay. So it's my turn here. This comes from 2 people here, sort of. It's Katie Dwerzinski.
Yeah, I know Katie.
Got quote tweeted because Katie the other night put out, people hate on Beth Mowins for no good reason. Meanwhile, she's out here dropping gems. And if you look at that tweet, she had a recording of the game where Beth Mowins said, Jays fans have a lot of passion. And a few of them have a little more than others, or something to that effect. And JD was like, oh, you didn't. Like, she brought it up during the call for the second game. And Beth Mowins quote tweeted with hashtag Canadian Mounties. And I loved it. It's so good. So good. Canadian Mounties.
Oh man, that is great. All right. I only had that one, so
Yeah, that's all I had to.
I think anyway. Oh no, I did have one more. This comes from Dominic. This is from the Brewers game. And he posted this up on the Sun Ranto Ranters page. And Dominic Galoro had shared this from Baseballer. And this was up on the Brewers community board, up on their big board. And somebody wrote, Mark, your friendship means the world to me. Let's not wreck it.
Oh my God.
And D loves the Bruce, and someone got friend zoned hard. Friend zoned hard.
Oh, that's got to be the worst ever.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so good. I guess anybody can do it. So I'm gonna think of more things like that. Now, I haven't been up to AmFam or Wrigley North this year, but maybe I could just join this Brewers Community Foundation and be a part of this. I don't know.
I'm surprised they let him put that up on the board.
Yeah,
like really, that's
the Brewers.
Nobody
Come
saw
on.
it.
Nobody cared. Yeah, nobody saw it. Nobody was there. Giving away tickets at gas stations, for God's sakes.
That woman was in the in the nosebleeds fucking somebody.
Yeah. Oh yeah. As you do.
As
So
you do at baseball games.
It's how most Brewers fans are born. So okay. So now it's time for the hashtag chance in the chat. If you have not already put it, I suggest you put it now, because now is the time that we're going to pick the winner. Hashtag
so
chance.
many games and winnings.
All right, I've got to find it now. All right, here we go. All right. Ooh, we got 15 in here tonight, but it's always more. So let's see what happens. All right. Ready? Oh, and it's Robert Sanchez Jr., the winner of the Chance for a Chance. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And also, you are also entered to win a much larger prize that will be given away next Christmas. I'm forgetting. I don't know what
Christmas.
I keep changing. I keep moving the goalpost. I don't know what to do yet. I come up with these contests with no end game. I'm like, we're having a contest, and then I don't know what the prize is. It's just we're giving away stuff. You're gonna win stuff, But congratulations, Robert. I will send you a chance postcard once I order them. Still haven't done that either. So, all right, let's bring it down, because this song is from Hal Oberheide. And but I think it would be good. it's a nice tribute to the man to hear his voice. And it's not it's a recording he made himself, I guess for posterity's sake. And it's very charming. He has a nice voice, plays a nice guitar, and he wrote this for his dad, and this is for Josh's dad. And thanks for everybody that's a part of the Son Ranto show, especially our Patreon supporters. There's 109 of you. We gave you a prize tonight. Join us and be a part of this Son Ranto family. Otherwise, I'm going to stop doing the show and I'll be an angry, bitter fucking person. And I will hate every single one of you till the day I die like Josh's dad.
Nobody believes you because you can't even stop this episode.
I know. Like, please love me.
Well,
anybody want to hear me read something?
Well, here's the Alan Josh Spagog.
Spagog.
You got out just in time. You went to the station, you got on board. You raised your eyes and you thank the Lord for heaven, for day overhead. It was a story ride over hills you fly. Past the planet, through the stars. It was a highway to our God, and the light was even better than in Morocco. Past the glance to the stars on a highway to our God. There